Charmin, don't you knock on the party. It's the most so roll it back in everybody. It's our party line. She's a Shakespeare pop. No one really want to touch the guy.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Because you want to hear bacon and eggs on your outdoor griddle, not the scraping of rust. Introducing the Weber Slate Rust-Resistant Griddle. Stays ready, not rusty, with a carbon steel cooktop, pre-seasoned and ready to cook on right out of the box. The Weber Slate heats evenly edge to edge up to 500 degrees. All you'll hear is the gasp of amazement from friends and family when you serve the food. Cooking with the Weber Slate Rust-Resistant Griddle just sounds delicious and tastes even better.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. For Montgomery's conversational radio show, it's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
What the hell are we doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon, or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live. If you're just now tuning in online, this is just a humble talk radio show out of Montgomery, Alabama. Again, I'm Joey. This guy, my co-host is Eddie Bader.
How you doing, Joey?
How you doing, Mr. Bader?
Pretty good. Pretty good weekend.
Yeah?
Yep.
Good. All around good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Good. Met some people, met some fans.
Met some fans. See, I wanted you to tell that story where somebody's like, oh, we got a local celebrity here. And you're looking around like, who are you talking about?
Yeah,
we're talking about you, Eddie. You celebrity.
Yeah, it was a little embarrassing.
I saw you on the TV. That means you're famous.
Yes, apparently that's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, embarrassing. But hey, if that's what it takes to get the folks to come, that's what it takes.
Now, so much happened over the weekend of stuff I know both of us are interested in. One is Trump got a massive pop.
Did he not?
At the UFC event. Did you see that?
Yeah. And also, after the victory of, I can't even begin to pronounce the guy's name, jumps out of the ring, goes shakes Trump's hand.
Oh, yeah. I saw that too. And they're like, I love you. Are you going to do this?
Okay,
yeah.
But if you're Trump and you're not sure if this guy likes you or not, after you just got done beating the crap out of this guy, he's jumping the fence coming after you.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Trump UFC, I'm going to see if I can find it real quick here. Like, it was kind of one of those just loud moments. Man, like, yeah, here it is. Let me share it. And they also made a big deal out of it. Like, Trump did some behind-the-scenes stuff, and he joined TikTok. And he went over 1 million followers in, like, hours.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
just off the one video. But here is the walking, talking with Trump and Dana White heading into UFC. Let's
yeah.
He's raised $200 million plus since the conviction.
I didn't know it was that high. 200
million.
Wow. Well.
Yeah, and I think near the end of this clip here, you see him. Here's the key moment where he's shaking the hand of the announcers, and you see how. Wow.
You think Rogan will ever end up having him on?
Maybe. I don't think Rogan has to have him on.
He doesn't have to, but I know a while back, well, it was last year, he said he was pretty much not going to have him on. And then they've met several times since then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and before then, Rogan openly said, no, I've never met him or anything. So they seem to be openly friendly anyway.
Right. Now, of course, Fauci is testifying today, and we'll get to that. But another thing happened this weekend.
All right.
Dave Smith, the comedian, the comic, the guy who's the big libertarian, who I think made the wise choice not to run
for
president. He did a debate on Patrick Bet-David's network against Chris Cuomo over this whole era that Fauci's talking about, the COVID regime, the lockdowns, the masking, the 6 feet apart,
Right.
the vaccines, the Operation Warp Speed, the mandate for the vaccines. Oh no, ivermectin's horse dewormer. Isn't it horse dewormer?
I got worms.
Well, maybe I need it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dave Smith became the voice of millions and millions of people in that debate.
Oh, no doubt, Joey.
That the pent-up frustration, that there's some of these folks who are the face of that lockdown politics, the face of the shaming campaigns that went on. Chris Cuomo was clearly one of them. Now, in some cases, it's stuff Cuomo said. In some cases, it's Cuomo just listening there stoically to, like, Don Lemon.
I enjoyed him saying, I didn't say this, and they go, pull the clip.
Yeah, grab the clip.
I loved that.
So let's go to that now, because he murdered him. Like, I watched the whole thing with my grandfather, and we're both like, what a tool this Cuomo guy is. Twisted himself in knots to try to avoid the question. But here's the key moment.
Completely untrue.
Yeah, okay. So to take on what you just said, no, not everyone, and not everyone who gets paid. Joe Rogan is bigger than every single show at CNN combined and gets paid more than every single person at CNN combined. And he was 100% right about this thing through the entire time.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he wasn't. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get this point out here.
Tell me what he was right about.
Okay. How about, you know what you just revealed last month on Pat's show about ivermectin?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was saying that, and you were smearing him for saying that.
Yeah.
You literally said he's taking horse dewormer.
Yes.
He should be ashamed of himself. You pleaded with your audience to not take it.
Yes.
Then you come back around and you go, hey, Pat, you know what I just found out? Turns out this thing isn't for animals. Turns out humans are. But Chris,
that's
a
not,
5-minute Google search and you would have known that.
First of all,
how do you not apologize to Joe Rogan?
Listen, do you know who disagrees with you? Do you know who disagrees with you? The people who make ivermectin disagree with you.
Hold on. What do they disagree with me about?
That the drug should not be taken as a standalone for COVID-19.
I never said it should.
Moving the goalpost.
Yep.
Like, Dave is unrelenting.
That's what Rogan was saying.
No. He did not. No, listen. See, this is the thing, Chris.
Yeah,
that is a lie. That is a blatant lie.
What did he say?
Rogan. So you just pretended that I said it's a standalone for COVID. No. Here's what it always was. Here's what Joe Rogan said. My doctor prescribed it to me, along with several other medications, just like your doctor prescribed it to you. That's what he said. What I'm saying is that it's not horse dewormer, as you and everybody else at CNN mindlessly repeated.
Now,
what he said, no, let me finish.
Go ahead.
What he said, and what I'm saying is that it is a medicine that's been prescribed to people millions and I think billions of times. And it was totally demonized. Why? You already said why. You said it 2 years too late, but you already said why.
No, here's
because
why.
no one owned it.
Here's why. What Pat has on his desk right now, you do not want to take, okay? It is the veterinary grade ivermectin. People were so desperate to get it because they were told it was a panacea. It was a cure-all.
Who told them that?
It was online.
Well,
they
you just
flooding
claimed
it.
Joe Rogan said it. You claimed I said it. Neither of us have said that.
But so hold on. So why was there a rush on ivermectin all of a sudden?
Can I tell you my honest opinion about that? Okay, it's that the medical establishment and the corporate media so humiliated themselves that they lost trust with the entire American people. And then, there were some charlatans online who were saying, "Oh, go take this," and they trusted them.
Please, here's what happened.
Okay? If you think Joe Rogan said, "Take any form of ivermectin you can get, and you'll never get COVID,"
I'm not blaming Rogan. Here's what happened. And
you should be apologizing to him.
Again,
yes.
Right, exactly.
Should be apologizing to him. And eventually what happened is, I didn't say that about it. And it was like, pull up the clip.
Pull the clip.
And there were the clips.
I loved it.
And that went on for like 3 hours.
Yeah. And several. Pull the clip.
And Cuomo kept trying to change the frame, change the goalposts and all that stuff. It's like, no, man, you were a part of this. And you need to at least apologize to people.
I don't apologize.
No. Who apologizes in this world today? Oh, look, UFC just blocked our video on Facebook because we just played that little clip of Trump walking in. Facebook sucks anyway. Who cares? 272-9228. That is, if I've learned anything in the last several months, if not the last year, is that Facebook is awful. It's only good for stupid memes, which I'll still share on there. But I say hat tip to Dave Smith. Go look up the entire thing if you're interested, if you want to feel a little bit of catharsis. Because it was somebody who did not want to apologize, who was backed into a corner and handled very effectively.
He stuck by his, no, I don't need to apologize.
Oh, yeah. Cuomo's that way, I think. Well, no, and then they talked about, like, him where he emerged from the basement.
Oh,
he's like, no, it wasn't. It was like I was allowed to come out in phases. And so when we did this it was presented on TV like he had been in the basement the whole time. Well, I know it was presented a certain way, but the reality is the doctor said I could come out a little bit and then go back in. And the guy came up to me, that was in my own backyard. And they're like, yeah, but you were saying you were in the basement the whole time. You weren't.
Liar.
It just became, I wouldn't want that same scrutiny. I wouldn't want that same scrutiny at all.
But you don't throw out that kind of BS. And I just don't, that's not in your nature.
It's not in my nature?
Mm-mm. No.
I try not to let it be in my nature.
No, it's just not your nature.
I mean, I'm a little worried, though, sometimes. Like, can you imagine if the Eye of Sauron actually fell on you in your life? No. By that, I mean, like, the corporate media decided, let's go after Mr. Bader, let's go after Joey Clark.
No.
Yeah, they'd find all sorts of stuff.
I'm sure they would. Things that I've forgotten about on purpose and by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think anybody wants
There will be blood.
But that's that's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
They start you with a little bit of the blackmail, and they go, "You don't really want us to tell people what we really know."
Right.
Where do I need to sign?
Now I got to play another Dave Smith clip because this is just fantastic. Right
great.
Here. This is Dave talking about the late stage empire, and I think that's exactly what we are.
In a collapsing empire right now, and that's our job is to try to right this ship. But we're in a late stage empire, and that's what America is. And this rarely comes up in corporate media, but the USA is the most powerful empire in the history of the world, and we are the global empire right now. But we're in the very late stages of that, with all of the characteristics of a late stage empire. And what are those characteristics? Being way too expanded militarily, being very, very far in debt. And then what ultimately happens after that? The culture devolves into decadence. And that's why things are dumber than they've ever been before. And that's why, you have people, whether it's like a gay pride parade where two guys are like slapping their butt cheeks together and then they're going, we're standing up for our rights. Like, no, you're not. You're not fighting for rights. This is decadence. When you see, if you look back at, say, like William F. Buckley's firing line, when it would be William F. Buckley going at it with Gore Vidal, okay, well, just the level of intelligence there between that and like Sean Hannity going at it with Don Lemon, no offense. There's been a significant fall off. And I think that's what's going on all throughout the country. And what's happening is that the most powerful people are trying to pit us against each other so that we're constantly fighting in a culture war so that we never all get together and realize that, you know what the left wing and the right wing of the culture war have in common? Both of their dollars been destroyed.
Hear, hear.
By the Federal Reserve.
Yep.
Okay?
Hear, hear.
But that never gets covered on CNN. You know what I mean? Like I never see like a big segment about that. Hey, how come all those years having the #1 CNN show, not one segment about the secrecy of the Federal Reserve, the secrecy of the CIA? Instead, all we get from the corporate media is, I don't know, the unvaccinated, the Trump supporter, the Biden supporter, pitting Americans against each other, and all the while blaming the American people for these problems. When that's just not true. Most of the American people are good people. They want to take care of their family, go to work, be a member of their community, try to give their kids a little bit more than they had. That's what, and if we had a better media in this country, they would be laser focused on the halls of power and how corrupt they are. Because man, is there a lot of corruption going on at the top here.
Yeah, it's not fair.
No, it's not fair to the media, says Cuomo. And he goes on.
Not fair to the media.
I mean, I've said similar things on this program. I think Dave Smith is right over the target.
Oh, yeah.
And it really is, if you look at the Occupy Wall Street, the Tea Party era, after the bailouts, you saw Ron Paul gaining some steam, too, in that 2012 cycle. You start to see Americans realize, yeah, we disagree on a lot, but we have a lot in common against these big interests, whether it's the big banks or big pharma or the corporate press or the government itself destroying the value of your dollar, which benefits all those big players. And yet something changes around, like especially 20 troll stuff comes up.
Mm-hmm.
All the race and gender and sexuality, all this stuff starts being like really pushed. And you have to wonder, who does it benefit? Because it doesn't seem to benefit the folks that they claim to even be helping.
Correct.
Remember when they tried to do Asian hate?
Oh, yeah.
Like there was that one guy that shot up a few massage parlors, and it didn't really actually pan out to be the narrative they needed. And then they took out Tony Hinchcliffe, or tried to take out Tony Hinchcliffe, the star of Kill Tony, great comedian roaster.
They got Seth, or not Seth. They got he was doing Saturday Night Live, and they canceled him before the first show ever come out.
Right. And so you see these things start to happen organic, like you see it like when you see The Matrix, when you can read the code. So, like, it's June. It's Pride Month, right?
Mm.
But all of a sudden, it's all these corporations talking about, like, Halo. Like the video game Halo, they came out with a big Pride display. Like, all these different companies come out with big Pride presentations. Like, do they really care?
Oh,
like, how much does that make your life better?
You know as well as I do. They're just trying to sell tickets.
Right? If Goldman Sachs has rainbows when I'm going to deposit my money, what does that do for anybody? And you can take, not just take Pride, you could take, at the time, Black Lives Matter, or the safe at home. Let's stay safe at home. It's whatever the corporate messaging happens to be at the moment.
Right.
And it so often is a distraction from the underlying rot and the big structural systemic issues that are actually facing all people in this country. And yet we must hate one another, of course, and the biggest one that divides us is partisanship. Now, gun to my head, I go with Trump. I'm doing it for what, Eddie? I want more Trump for...
Well, for the chaos, for one.
Well, in the dancing. I got to see more of the dancing.
You love the Trump dance.
The dancing.
If I could get you the dance like Trump video, would you?
I'll work
practice
on
the moves.
Yeah, I'll work on it. I'll get a long tie. I think Trump is that chaotic agent that is probably for the better, making Washington improvise. No, I think Trump's the savior.
Yeah, when you say for the better, though, do you mean the less of two evils?
No, not even that. It's more like it's genuinely something different.
Okay.
Than what we've had with a lot of Republicans in the past.
I'll give you that.
So we'll see where it all goes. But just remember, at the end of the day, your neighbor, unless you're Rand Paul, is not your enemy.
Correct, Joe.
Your neighbor is somebody that you need to look out for, regardless of what corporate interest and big media and government interests try to pump into your mind every day. There are things that are much deeper and are going to stick a lot longer with you than what side you are on the latest campaign. That's the hot new thing. 272-9228. If you want to hop in on the program again, 334-272-9228. We'll get to Fauci testifying.
I am the science.
There's a video also going viral of an HOA Karen that somebody luckily filmed.
I love HOA.
She was trying to get onto somebody at a pool.
Oh, I love that.
And a lot of people are like, do away with HOAs. And I think Ron DeSantis just signed something in Florida that greatly limited the power of HOAs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be very interesting.
Yeah. Jury selection has begun in the Hunter Biden gun trial.
How do you think that's going to go?
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of damning evidence out there. But we'll see. With this legal system, who knows?
That's my point.
Apparently Buc-ee's, we got the new one, they have a pervert problem, and it's the founder's son.
It's been going on for a couple of years.
Yeah, we'll get into that nasty story. And then, is Real ID real? They're now saying that if you don't have that star ID, you're not going to be able to fly domestically starting in like May of 2025.
How many years have you been saying this?
Oh, I just don't even like the threat. It's a stupid idea.
Dude, it'll never happen.
Maybe sweeten the deal, like give a carrot, not a stick. Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. Plus, I had the star ID. I told you, I looked, I had it. I remember after we got it, it made flying no different, just as miserable. So
272-9228. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's us?
This is Ole Miss.
Hey, Ole Miss. How you doing?
Pretty good. Quick question for you. About 2 weeks ago, I think the 22nd, it was signed into law. Most of the states have taken the investment bullion vessel for taxes and investment and swapped it. Now they changed the taxes codes and such where you instead of using it for tax shelter, you can cash it in now. Did you know that silver's gone from $24 up to over $31 in less than about 4 weeks?
Oh, no, I didn't notice that in the silver market.
Oh, yeah, it was on the news. Our Senate voted on it about the 13th of last month. And now if you go, used to you could, the margins on the silver and the gold, the tax write-offs for the loss and gains are no more.
Right.
That's what you get, and you've got to spend it, and they're using more of currency now. There's even a place up in Pelham that uses silver to buy whatever products they're selling.
Yeah, we had on J.P. Cortez, who's with the Sound Money Defense Fund, something like that, and he was really pushing that bill in Alabama and celebrating it. And me and JP go way back, so I think that's a huge victory, removing cap gains off precious metals.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is, they're lining it up for no longer an investment vessel, but a monetary vessel to use. Why do you think they're going to do that? It's like the Prime Minister of England said on the 31st in the morning, American dollar is no longer anything but paper.
Well, we're heading in that direction whether we like it or not. They can't, to have created all this money they have just in the last few years, something's got to give. This is what I often mean by you commit certain sins, you're going to pay for them lately.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one thing to do that as an individual, to do it on a society-wide basis where you create trillions and trillions and trillions out of thin air. It ain't going to last, and we're going to pay for it some way.
Now, let me ask you this. don't know a lot about the money, basically the internet money, people, cyber money.
Like Bitcoin?
Really, yeah, like Bitcoin. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the bank can just, with a stroke of a key, say, you no longer have money. And they can do that with $1. What's keeping them from doing that with a Bitcoin? It's a lot easier.
Bitcoin isn't controlled by any one group. So they can't do that with Bitcoin. They could do something like, okay, this particular Bitcoin account that Ole Miss owns, you can't do business with a bank. Like we're flagging. They might try to do stuff like that. But in terms of the actual Bitcoin network, it is completely decentralized and encrypted to where you cannot, at this point, you can't cheat with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm old school, and I'd rather invest in something I can hold in my hand. You're younger, so you understand all the technicalities of it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'd rather hold it in my hand and trust
One guy,
somebody.
I hear you where you're coming from, and gold and silver are still a great option. I'd recommend just look up on YouTube Michael Saylor.
Saylor, S-A-I-L-E-R?
S-A-Y-L-O-R.
Thank you. All right. Well, I appreciate the conversation. I'm just trying to get a little knowledge.
Thank you, Ole Miss.
Thank you, Ole Miss. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, it's Bill.
Hey, Bill. How you doing?
Oh, I'm great. Y'all were just discussing the real ID.
Yeah.
So a few months ago, I had to renew my driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a question on there if I wanted real ID, and I said yes. I renewed it by mail and got it. So my question is what's the big deal about the real ID? If I can renew something by mail where they don't see me, have no clue.
Well, but did you already go through the initial process to get the real ID standard?
Not that I know of.
I think I had to bring my birth certificate down. When I did
birth certificate or a passport or several other forms of ID.
But I remember I had to be there to get it on there.
Yeah, that's you would think that would be the requirement.
Well,
but I promise you, I renewed mine by mail.
Well, and the big idea, the big problem with it is here's just yet another federal database that they're going to use to decide who can, say, fly domestically and who cannot. Like, it's sort of another means of controlling folks, and it doesn't exactly improve also passenger experience on a plane.
Not at all.
Means, or at airports.
Yeah, I was just surprised you could do it by mail. I mean, if it's a real ID, shouldn't they be verifying you are who you say you are?
That was the whole purpose of it. It's kind of stupid.
Food for thought. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Bill. But why does it not surprise me?
Yeah, I think to initially set it up, you got to be in person. Unless you can now scan your birth certificate and social security card and stuff.
So I can make one at home, put it on my scanner, make it look real. I mean, you kind of.
I still have my original birth certificate.
Me too.
And it's that old waxy sort of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Still got my original passport that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
From when I was, I think, 11 or 12.
I still have a passport that's now expired. I need to get another one. So
Yeah,
you and
do.
I can go
So
to
we can
like
travel.
Tokyo or something.
Tokyo.
I think we do well in Japan, you and I.
Oh, I know we would.
Yeah.
I've seen some videos. We do very well.
At what?
The eating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you want to go to the poop restaurant? Where everything's themed about
Yeah.
being a toilet? I
I've
don't know
seen
if I
that. I
like
don't
that.
know.
It
Honestly,
kind of gives me a sick to the stomach feeling.
I'd like to at least try, but I got a feeling if I did make it in, it wouldn't be very long.
No, we would have to do like one of those hole in the wall, do research, try to find a person, and do one of those hole in the wall, like top high end sushi restaurants.
Oh, no doubt.
Where
But
you don't
also-
even order, you just let the chef do what he does.
I want to go to the restaurant. They have these monkeys that serve you too.
They have monkeys that
Yeah,
serve?
2 little monkeys that serve you.
Wow.
Yep. And then they have, of course, they have the ones that robots serve you too. But
yeah.
And then they have a cat place where it's like a cat cafe. You can go and have coffee and be.
And
on
then
your
we can
phone.
like go get all the Pokemon cards. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, fellas, there are 2 things that can start to happen as we get older as men. One is erectile dysfunction.
It can happen.
It's a problem. Or it could be this next thing is contributing to that ED, and it's just a general problem of low testosterone. And no, these are not things to deny, put off, be ashamed about, and don't wait to get it fixed. I know guys hate going to the doctor. I certainly hate going to the doctor, but Montgomery Men's Health was created to take care of guys just like us. And the reality is pills often quit working, and guys start making excuses for coming to bed. So if you're lacking motivation, energy, and drive, including a decrease in that sex drive of yours, you're just always tired, feel like you're walking through life in a fog as you're losing muscle mass and seeing unwanted weight gain, knowing whether or not you have low testosterone is huge in combating some of these issues. And the providers there at Montgomery Men's Health will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup, plus a consultation for only $99. And Montgomery Men's Health has low-T treatments that can truly change lives if that is, in fact, your problem. Men can experience higher energy after these treatments, better gains in the gym, brother. That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, and you usually even notice an increased libido, which is just a fancy Latin term for sex drive.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Selling a home in the River region in this market takes some planning and preparation to be successful. Here are some steps to take to get your home sold fast. Remember the 5 Ps. Prepare the home, fresh coat of paint inside and out, and complete any repairs needed. Professionally clean the home. A deep cleaning of floors, cabinets, windows, and blinds will leave a great impression for future buyers. Provide a home warranty for the buyer to give the buyer peace of mind after the closing. Provide a closing cost allowance for the buyer to help them be able to afford your home. Price your home to sell, not sit. A comparative market analysis from a local realtor will demonstrate what other properties have sold for in your neighborhood. Well-priced homes sell faster with less hassle. Houses are selling fast and sellers are getting top dollar. For all the answers, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Hi, everybody. As we start this first full week in the month of June, no big surprises here. Sun and cloud mix today. A warm day with a high around 88. The normal high is 90. Spotty, random, mostly afternoon and evening storms, not only today, but tomorrow and Wednesday as well. With a low tonight 69. The high tomorrow 90. We'll be in the lower 90s on Wednesday. I think rain chances are better on Thursday as a front approaches the area, with spotty storms on Friday as well. Otherwise, pretty typical. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
I got hairy legs.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to hop in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Now, in local news, did we see anything new?
Not necessarily new. We still had lots of violence over the weekend.
Yeah, we did see that.
Had a couple shootings, I believe.
Right.
That's about as far as I made it before I said I got on the boat and left.
Well, we'll see where all that goes. But just as a warning, this is a PSA, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who love going to Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you got to take a shower.
Okay.
The son of Buc-ee's co-founder has been indicted on nearly 24 charges for filming people inside his family's home using showers and having sex, but he says it's allowed by law. Huh? No, so this sounds like it was like Airbnbs, or was this just like private guests coming?
I thought it was, I don't know. I thought it was what they were having something going on in the bathrooms at Buc-ee's.
A Texas grand jury returned a 21-count indictment accusing Mitchell Wasek, who's only 28, on the 17th of May of invasive visual recording. The Travis County District Attorney announced this week. Wasek is the son of Don Wasek, the co-founder of Buc-ee's, of course, a chain of gas and travel centers. And we have one now outside of Auburn, Alabama. Place is freaking packed. My uncle Scott came down from Auburn on Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
and said you couldn't get into the Buc-ee's.
Really?
It was that packed.
I know it's over the top, but I think they've got to have 50 or more pumps. I mean, it was.
Oh, it's an
huge.
impressive facility, and they have a lot of great food and all sorts of stuff there. But the charges relate to 13 separate victims who are alleged to have been secretly recorded by Wasek at his family's lake home over the course of 2 years. One of the attorneys, an attorney for Mitchell Wasek, said that due to the ubiquity of video recording in modern society, this case involves the legal right to install cameras in one's own home. So I got to know more. Like, were these people, like Joey invited Eddie to come stay the weekend? Or?
I kind of got to feel like that's the creepy thing going on there.
Well, this dude is creepy looking.
Dude, what?
May a homeowner install a camera in his home without telling housekeepers or guests, or does the guest have a greater legal right than the homeowner?
I would think you have a right to expectation of privacy, except in your own home or one that you're renting. Airbnb, you can't have cameras in Airbnbs.
He was released, this guy, Mitchell Wasek, on a $280,000 bond. His charges stem from claims of a woman who says she and her friends were visiting a lake house with Wozniak. She alleges they found a camera hidden in a charging port plugged into the bathroom wall at the home on the banks of Lake Travis. The group of friends allegedly left with the camera, only to find on it dozens of videos of themselves and other people in bathrooms and bedrooms, as well as his Dallas apartment.
That's just creep factor of 1,000.
Yeah, they were unaware that the recordings existed in the bedroom and bathroom and indicated they did not consent to being recorded or photographed. After authorities reviewed the footage, they said they found 68 movie files containing at least 13 male and female individuals being recorded using the toilet, showering, changing clothes, and or having sex. All at the same time? And or. Like, what? The affidavit also states that some videos date to 2021 and were recorded in multiple different locations. Amazon Records also linked purchases of spy cameras on to Wozniak.
Dude.
So,
I need to go to the jail.
That's unnerving.
Yeah. Well, that's a big thing in the Airbnb is the whole secret camera things, which kind of caught me off guard, but
I don't mind it in the kitchen.
Well, usually what we were advised to do is you have one on the door, front door. So
Yeah,
you see
that makes
check-in,
sense. Yeah.
and then that's all you need.
Right.
And now you might have, and we have some security cameras focusing outside, but we
Sure.
let all the guests know these.
So
are
you don't
cameras.
film the inside.
No, not at all.
Right.
The creep factor of 1,000. No, I couldn't. I don't even do that in my own house.
Well, I would imagine in a bedroom or bathroom, you do have an expectation of privacy.
Certainly.
Like if somebody has the living room kitchen area, like I'm thinking of Airbnb I stayed in Greenville, South Carolina. If they were filming my dad and I like eating food.
Yeah, but you ever got freaky in a kitchen, Joey? Come on. They don't need to have a camera in the kitchen.
What is that one butter incident?
You don't need that on tape.
Should have used unsalted. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Oh, this is Dan.
Hey, Dan.
You had a sponsor that I think it was in Prattville that dealt with walking, teaching to walk.
Physical therapy? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
It's been a while since I've been over there. I'm looking them up now. It's physical with an F.
Right.
It's Physical Therapy and Balance Center.
On Sexton.
Okay.
And it's on Fairview Avenue in Prattville.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. We haven't heard from Don and them in a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Good place. We
Very
had
good
some
place.
fun over
We
there.
had some fun. You and I did, yeah.
Yeah, we really did. 272-9228. So, creep factor. Like, you got to be careful who you trust.
Well, there's all kinds of videos that show how to test for cameras, like behind mirrors. And yeah, I mean, again, and I'm sure there's a gazillion of them out there.
I mean, I'll admit I had moments. This is why I've stopped trying to do this.
Yeah.
Where, like, you get real drunk and you're in a strange place. Like, you stay over at somebody's place and you're just real wasted.
Yeah.
It's like, who knows what you're giving up there? Like, if there are cameras there, say, in the bedroom, like, and also when you're in that state of mind.
Right.
It's just, imagine all the folks who did make it to, like, the big time or they got into positions of power, even locally. And this is like the 70s, 80s, 90s. How much stuff they got away with.
Oh.
And now there are cameras
Just as a teenager,
everywhere.
The stuff we got away with.
And people still live their lives, thank God, with the expectation of if Eddie and I are meeting at a bar and we're kind of just shooting the shaving cream and we're getting a little tipsy and we're just talking how you talk at a bar over drinks, you expect I'm not being filmed or recorded right now, unless I guess James O'Keefe is after you.
Yeah. Or honestly,
But there's something real creepy about that.
There's a creep factor.
There has to be, I think, good boundaries make a good society, and privacy in particular. And we're heading to this era where nothing is.
That's where we're heading. You're
private.
Right. I don't like that at all.
All of life is on the stage, and that might explain, I think, a lot of the unhappiness stats we see.
Yeah.
Like Senator Brett talking about it last week with young people in particular. I think it has a lot to do with everything of life is in the public eye. Now, they've volunteered it in some ways.
Oh, sure. But I remember growing up, we were encouraged to write journals. Well, imagine if you wrote your journal, like a lot of people do on Facebook, and they're a teenager with the hormones and everything raging. There's no taking that back, man. I mean, it's just, Screenshot.
Well, can you imagine all the memes? That are sent in your private messages? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Gotta go burn my phone.
Like there's that Hitler one that says you did the Reich thing.
I never saw that one.
You never saw that one?
No.
Never saw that one.
No, not that one.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, fellas, this is Billy, man. Hope y'all doing well.
Hey, Billy.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. You know, fellas, I have to contradict what you're saying. I mean, everything, it's recorded. What we do every day now, unless you were Jeffrey Epstein and you happen to be in a prison at a certain time and you all of a sudden decide to try to kill yourself, you know, I mean, you think that would have been recorded, but evidently it wasn't.
And the guards were asleep too, and
one was on break. But you mean like through our cell phones following us and always recording us? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly right.
That is true.
You know, but we're in a different world, fellas. When I was a kid growing up, a teenager, thank God we didn't have this stuff now. I'm telling you.
I know.
So it's a different world. But anyway, just wanted to interject my 2 cents.
No, it's a good thought, Bill.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. And we're reminded all the time that our cell phones are watching us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't really even hide it anymore.
I mean, at the end, let's just be honest here, Eddie. You and I, if we ever wanted to go like big time, like run for president, run for United States Senate, maybe we got famous in some way and our opinions matter too much for whatever reason, we're both screwed.
Oh, yeah. But I'm smart enough to go, look, this is going to be a short run. Who's going to pay me the most money? Cause I'm going to have a disastrous end, and I've got to have a golden parachute.
272-9228 if you want to hop in on the conversation. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And there at Pest Pro, Ashley and her team are ready to help you
That's
with
right, Joey.
any of those pest control problems you might have. 'Tis the season for all these pests to really wake up, like fire ants, wasps, subterranean yellow jackets.
Yes, we have those.
Wood scorpions.
You got those. You got the German roaches.
Ooh.
You got those. I think they call them daredevils, devil horn, something. They got two little spikes on
Oh, I don't like those things.
I killed one of them. It's like basically a millipede with two little spikes on it.
Yeah, I don't like those
I don't
things
like that
at all. And don't forget, like mosquitoes. Those, I think
Sure.
most bugs, for the most part, are going to leave you alone. Like, they don't want anything to do with you. Like, even a wasp, as long as you're not getting their territory, you're probably going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think mosquitoes are after you.
Not only that, they bite me in places. How did a mosquito get there?
Right.
Just
like I had a shirt on
Right.
with long sleeves.
Right, but I've got this huge mosquito bite right here.
You do right now?
Yeah, literally right under my armpit. It's driving me nuts. How did it get there?
Or it could be termites. Now, termites aren't after you, but they're after your property. All your wood. I ate all your wood.
Yeah.
Like, it's way too late if you get a termite that you see one in the midst of a swarm. You're already freaked out about it, and it goes, I drink your milkshake. It's like, that's not, you need to stop the termites before they destroy your property. And treatment is much less expensive than termite repairs. And Pest Pro, they do it all. They really can do it all. So check them out today. You can always call Ashley and the team at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the book of faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. Make them your everyday pest control company.
Good idea.
And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those idiots on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
For over 40 years, Headley Plumbing has been fixing the River Region's plumbing problems with fast, affordable service. The pros at Headley are ready to respond anytime you need help, and they charge fair rates for their expert service. They help River Region homes and businesses every day, from repairing leaky faucets, septic tank service, replacing damaged sewer lines, or just stopping a blocked drain. Trust the experts at Headley Plumbing. Call 285-3667. Headley Plumbing, 285-3667. Remember Headley's motto, in our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the River Region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
This is James Jones with Jones Drugs. We've got locations in Prattville, Millbrook, Greenville, and Montgomery, and soon to be Phoenix City. My dad told me once if I wanted the whole world to know anything, to tell my aunt. Well, I don't have my aunt here, but I've got the next best thing, Blue Water Broadcasting. They have helped us grow the Jones Drug family in this area for over 10 years. Thank you, Blue Water.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
The Senate will conduct a trial of the impeachment of Donald Trump. It will be a full trial. It will be a fair trial. But make no mistake, there will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the election.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. And Eddie, did you see this video of Putin's bodyguard and President Xi of China's bodyguard, like, looking at each other? And this is like the universal cross-culture, like, you see another guy and you're not like, you don't know him. You're just like you just acknowledge one another.
Head bob.
Well, there's a little extra intensity when it's like two guys that are guarding presidents of Russia and China.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hadn't seen this, let's pull it up on the stream here. Yeah. So Putin greeting Xi and Xi's spouse, I believe.
Why is this white man saying hello to me?
Yeah, like that look is...
I think he's a little confused.
Like, some of this is just comedy. Like, what is he doing right next to me?
He sounds like a nice guy. Just saying hello.
Look
Hey, how
at
you
the close-up right here. It's like, hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, all right. I kill you. No, I kill you. Yeah. Talk about two killers right there. Let's go to line one. Red Top's on the air. Hey, Red Top.
What's up, Red Top?
Yes, that's two real killers there. Let me tell you one thing about mosquitoes. They bite you a lot. That makes you have very high potassium levels because that's what attracts mosquitoes to humans. And if you're a man, high potassium is extremely dangerous, one of the major causes of heart attacks. Just thought I'd let everybody give that medical check. And see, I don't have to worry about it. I've been a painter all my life, and when a mosquito bites me, they explode.
That's fair.
Kills. I've injected enough kills to kill any damn organism. That's why we never get sick. Those contractors don't get sick. We're so exposed, and we carry so many chemicals in our bodies and organisms that can live on us. Now,
can't argue with that.
Yes. And about to say another plane ride, guys, over the first the first super lake.
Oh, yes.
Lake Martin. And I'll give you, and I can really tell you the truth when I say I look at the world from a 1,000-foot point of view from now on. And it's humbling because, like an 18-wheeler's an inch and a half long, a car's a half long, you can't see a cow and you can't see a human. You go, this is just a lush, beautiful planet with rivers and all that kind of stuff. And you get to realize how insignificant humans are to the planet. Now, have you heard about the North Korean balloons?
The poop balloons.
The ones with the excrement in them?
Yes. You know, this is really dangerous, not to mention the poop. I didn't know North and South Korea were flying balloons back and forth between them. One was sending CDs and steak. Did you hear that?
Yep.
South and the North is sending.
Yeah, and
food down.
apparently it's just trash, which includes human waste, and
Yeah.
they're just dumping filth on the other side.
Just a great way to harass them.
Yes, I agree with that. On the counter to every one of those things.
Oh, boy.
Goodness.
Oh, boy.
Now, I didn't even think about that. I just laughed at it till I saw it. Put the
didn't think about
Geiger
that
counter
either.
up to it. I'm going, oh no.
Didn't even
This is
think
the
about
way
that.
you take down a nuclear superpower with a bag of poop.
Mm.
Okay. So I don't think it's the big systems and all this kind of stuff and space, Star Wars and all this stuff. They're going to start something crazy. So I think it's going to be something simple like that. And no word on this weekend. Now, Ukraine hit some targets inside of Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard what the response is to that, if any? Because all they talked about was Donald Trump yesterday.
I saw a little bit of an update. It wasn't an over-the-top response. It does seem like the Russians are trying to hit energy sources in Ukraine more, and it looks like they're making bigger moves at different parts of the front, but I haven't heard any, like, massive retaliation story.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting to watch because, it's just a matter of time before somebody does something crazy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of this going on in that whole area of the world, and Taiwan being surrounded by China. It's going to be a very interesting next 5 months because it's going to go on and intensify in the next 5 months, I believe, until the election. So if you hear of anything, broadcast it, bro. Roll Tide, go Trump. See you guys.
Appreciate it. Bud. Yeah, all I'm seeing of the latest, at least the response from Russia, is they warn U.S. of fatal consequences over miscalculations in Ukraine. Of course, the news at the end of last week is Biden giving secret, though it's in every headline, secret permission for the Ukrainians to use American-made weapons in Russian territory.
I think Biden's the only one that thinks it's a secret.
Well, and I'm looking here, The Economist says in Crimea, Ukraine is beating Russia. It's becoming a death trap for Kremlin forces. Well, okay. Like that. Because in war, like there are a lot of people dying on both sides of this thing. And I think there are a lot of folks on both sides of this thing. They're like, well, the drones have really changed how war's done. Like, so the war's like any war, very messy. But the idea that, like, okay, yeah, you can use these long-range missiles to strike Crimea and strike concentrations of Russian forces. But can you get past that defense belt they set up? No. You tried.
No.
I just wish it would come to an end.
Me too. Me too.
Make a frickin' deal already and stop the bloodletting. But we shall see, and I'm not going to hold my breath on any peace deal being agreed to at this moment. 272-9228. Somebody just texted me, bought this storybook for my grandson. Horton Hears a Who?
Oh, what?
Like the Dr. Seuss Horton Hears a Who?
Okay.
Yeah, it's elephant, Horton hears, yeah. It's got Ric Flair photos superimposed and it says Horton Hears a Woo! 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 Ric Flair ever apologized for that stuff he did in that bar? I think he did.
He did a little bit, but, as an elderly man, he halfway apologized and then blamed everybody and had 2 drinks and left.
But Horton Hears a Woo! Now, coming up, a guy named Michael Schellenberger, we played stuff in before, independent reporter, investigative reporter. He put out an amazing video that actually Judge Napolitano was praising. Essentially the constant theme that Trump is this unique threat to democracy and democratic norms in the country. But Schellenberger is saying, looking back on the last 4 or 5 years, it seems like Trump isn't the one who's actually the threat at upsetting norms. And he goes through the history. So we'll have that when we come back. Y'all stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A federal gun case against President Biden's son Hunter has opened with jury selection. Hunter Biden charged with lying on federal gun purchase forms when he said he wasn't a drug addict. He's pleaded not guilty and argues he's being unfairly targeted by the Justice Department. Hunter Biden also facing a separate trial in California in September on charges of failing to pay $1.4 million in taxes. A group of 60 World War II veterans has left Atlanta on a trip to France to mark the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings. The veterans will take part in parades, school visits, and ceremonies, including the official June 6th commemoration of the landings. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 335 points, the Nasdaq losing 4. This is SRN News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm. They want you to stay safe on the road. Please don't text and drive. Get to your destination safely. Your family and friends will thank you. From the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Hi, everybody. As we start this first full week in the month of June, no big surprises here. Sun and cloud mix today. A warm day with a high around 88. The normal high is 90. Spotty, random, mostly afternoon and evening storms, not only today, but tomorrow and Wednesday as well. With a low tonight 69. The high tomorrow 90. We'll be in the lower 90s on Wednesday. I think rain chances are better on Thursday as a front approaches the area, with spotty storms on Friday as well. Otherwise, pretty typical. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A man faces multiple charges after he led police on a high-speed chase. A state trooper attempted to pull over 26-year-old Ladarian Johnson on I-85 near the Pike Road exit around 1 p.m. Saturday, but Johnson refused to stop. The chase eventually ended on Bell Road near Troy Highway with Johnson's arrest. A mission transition ceremony was held at Maxwell Air Force Base to welcome the new MH-139 Gray Wolf helicopter. The 908th Airlift Wing will be in charge of training Gray Wolf personnel. The new helicopters can cruise 50% faster and farther than the Huey, with capacity to lift 5,000 pounds more. Alabama's new hands-free law went into effect on Saturday, June 1st. This law prohibits using electronic devices such as cell phones while driving. Police officers can't stop motorists solely for holding a phone. They must also witness another violation. Being caught on your phone while driving will cost you a $50 fine and 1 point added to your driver's license. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon, or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live. Like and subscribe on YouTube at Joey Clark Live or on Twitter X at the Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house, and where we left off, Eddie, is this video put together by Michael Schellenberger.
Right.
And this comes recommended by the one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano.
Okay.
And, you know, the judge is often very critical of Trump.
Yeah.
When he needs to be. And I think it's because he's a straight shooter in general. So.
Well, he openly said, though, they had a little bit of a falling out, too.
Oh, yeah. But he's honest. He's intellectually honest about it.
He's honest about it, yeah.
So let's go to Schellenberger and see his take on this so-called, you know, because now the Democrats' thing is convicted felon who's going to be a dictator on day one, and he's going to take away the democracy. He's essentially just like Hitler winning the chancellery. So let's listen to Schellenberger. He has a bit of, let's say, a corrective to this narrative.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Schellenberger for Public. Ever since Donald Trump emerged as a presidential contender 9 years ago, America's most esteemed scholars and journalists have argued that he is violating the norms of our democracy, which set us apart from other nations. Trump, they said, was ignoring the unwritten rules and values of American political life, which provide so much stability. And that this was evident in his vulgar language, vilification of immigrants, criticism of the press, lack of cooperation with the intelligence community, and his refusal to accept the 2020 election results. Trump's disregard.
Hold on, before Schellenberger even gives his commentary. Lack of cooperation with the intelligence community. That's the upsetting of a democratic norm. I love how democracies come to mean anything like good. Like to where even North Korea's like, we're the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Well, of course, Joey.
It's one of these meaningless nonsense words at this point.
Well, it comes out from our government, right?
Like, democracy is historically understood by political philosophers is, rule of the many, and it's often bonkers. Like, the closest thing to, like, true democracy is, like, a riot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think of the Boston Tea Party, or think of so many riots in American history. That's more democracy than what we talk about, like, going to the ballot box and whatnot. Rule of the many. The whole point of, say, the founders, say, John Adams really understood this, is you still have that democracy, but you have it in one representative body, and you don't claim that the people are represented, like the president, the Senate, it's always about the people. No, we have one institution that really represents the people and the fervor of democracy, and then we have other institutions that are supposed to temper that. And now what we have now is an oligarchy that pretends to be a democracy and uses the language of democracy to defend its all sorts of impositions and its structures and institutions. So that's one tell. Before Schellenberger even gets into it, this idea that he didn't cooperate with the intelligence communities. What is that? Well, maybe he thinks they're not worth it.
Right.
Maybe he thinks they were trying to screw him, and they were.
Setting him up.
Framing him for treason.
Right.
Anyway, let's keep going with Schellenberger.
civility and informal customs of the presidency, experts said, was a fundamental threat to our democratic conventions. But the Democrats' relentless efforts to imprison Trump have undermined the rule of law, faith in the criminal justice system, and democratic norms more than anything Trump has ever done. According to multiple credible sources, President Barack Obama's director of the CIA in the summer of 2016 illegally mobilized foreign spy agencies to target 26 Trump advisors in order to claim, falsely, that Russian dictator Vladimir Putin controlled Trump. Then in January 2017, after Trump had been elected, but before he took office, the U.S. intelligence community falsely claimed that Putin had favored the election of Trump, when in reality the intelligence showed that Putin had favored Clinton. After taking office, current and former U.S. government intelligence operatives and Democrats falsely claimed that Russian disinformation on social media had resulted in Trump's election, and then went on to work with the Department of Homeland Security to censor social media platforms. None of this is a defense of Trump. He uses extreme and inflammatory rhetoric, particularly around immigrants, that I strongly disagree with. He was wrong to deny and try to change the results of the 2020 elections. And I think people are right to fear that if he were reelected, he could weaponize the government to exact revenge on his political enemies. But that latter reality is simply further proof of the danger of Democrats weaponizing the government. Democrats went far beyond anything Trump did when it came to abusing their political power. After the Supreme Court ruled that Biden could not legally forgive student loans, for example, he did so anyway. By contrast, Trump did not violate any Supreme Court rulings. Now, Trump has indeed criticized judges, journalists, and intelligence agencies, but why exactly is that a bad thing? We have a separation of powers for a reason. The intelligence agencies broke the law multiple times in targeting Trump, and the news media have rightly lost the public's trust after lying to us about everything from the origins of COVID to the efficacy of the COVID vaccine to the Russiagate hoax itself. Or consider the prosecution of Trump for supposedly taking and holding on to classified documents. It's not obvious that Trump put national security in any greater danger than Biden. There is evidence that the Biden administration worked with the National Archives and the Department of Justice to demand the confrontation in the first place. And there is also the possibility that the raid was motivated in order to recover the very same documents related to the Russiagate hoax. And the abuse of the court system by Democrats in an effort to incarcerate Trump and keep him off the ballot is far more of a violation of norms than anything Trump ever dreamed of. This recent felony conviction of Trump for falsifying business records relies on the idea that he misclassified campaign payments. Democrats say, well, nobody's above the law, which is true. But such a statement ignores the fact that prosecutors are constantly making choices about whether to pursue certain cases over others. So, for example, Hillary Clinton was found to have also mislabeled payments related to the famous Steele dossier during her 2016 campaign, but she was never prosecuted. The Federal Election Commission merely fined Clinton and the Democratic National Convention for this misconduct. In fact, everything about New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg's recent conviction of Trump is abnormal. For starters, Bragg campaigned on the promise to prosecute Trump. Right. He turned the misdemeanor of falsifying business records into a felony by tying it to election interference. But the case was so weak that both the Department of Justice and the former District Attorney of New York refused to prosecute it. The judge in the case donated directly to Biden, and his daughter is the president of a Democratic Party fundraising firm whose clients include Representative Adam Schiff, who led the Russiagate hoax. The judge told the jurors that they didn't need to agree on what crime Trump intended to commit by falsifying records. Trump's exact crime was rather confused. The case confused even legal experts. At the start of closing arguments, wrote legal scholar Jonathan Turley, most honest observers were still wondering what the prosecutors were alleging as to the crime that Trump was supposedly concealing with the falsification of business records. Even CNN's top legal scholar, Elie Honig, who is also a former colleague of Bragg's, said the trial violated norms. Prosecutors got Trump, but they contorted the law, said Honig in a New York Times Magazine article. The charges against Trump are obscure and nearly entirely unprecedented, he wrote. In fact, No state prosecutor in New York or Wyoming or anywhere has ever charged federal election laws as a direct or predicate state crime against anyone for anything. None ever, he wrote. All of this.
Wow. I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. That creative. That unprecedented. We'll keep going with, again, this is Michael Schellenberger. But who really is destroying the norms here? And who wants to fundamentally change a lot of the institutions?
Right. Who's been fighting for that for a while now.
Always remember that when the Democrats get in control there in 2020, what do they try to do? They want to expand the Supreme Court and put on people they want.
Right.
They want to add states to the union to give them a pretty solid permanent majority in the Senate, at least. They want to centralize election regulations and standards into Washington, D.C. with some panel. Like, it was a massive structural plan to ensure they would have power for decades to come.
They want to get rid of the Electoral College.
That too.
I mean, like you said, all the norms, all the things we've been able to lean on as these are the way we come up with answers. They want to do away with that.
Well, and we are chipping away slowly but surely at a republic that was supposed to be a competition of powers, a mixed government of monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy. It was supposed to be the president's more like the monarch, the aristocracy is going to be your Senate, and then you're going to have your House members that represent the craziness that is the people. And of course, it's not been chipped away just recently. It's been several iterations and revolutions and legal thought and all these creative judges and lawyers interpreting things how they want to interpret them. But we're slowly but surely getting to a point where any idea of separation of powers is completely out the window. And in fact, even the House of Representatives isn't all that democratic anymore. Most of them are millionaires.
Right.
Most of them have to be connected to a massive donor class just to get there, just to stay there.
Yep.
These are not of the people sort of folks. A few of them are.
Not
but
many,
most of them are just as much part of the oligarchy as the Senate or the media or the university system or everybody surrounding the presidency in the executive branch.
That's why they need to be there, to make sure their gravy train continues.
And it's just I know people are going to fall for it because that appeal to democracy is an emotional appeal.
Always.
And people grew up literally believing in the United States in the same way they might believe in God at their church.
Sure.
And if you question that, they just don't even want to hear it.
But we were also told growing up the reason the world hated us is because we were so fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we should reconsider that. Let's keep listening here.
This is a really radical change from the ideals of the Democratic Party just a few years ago. In the 1970s and 1980s, Democrats fought to restrict and reform the intelligence community so that it would stop spying on American citizens for their political activities. Democrats defended a high standard for free speech, including the right of Nazis to march through neighborhoods of Holocaust survivors. And since the 1990s, Democrats have raised the alarm about the abuse of prosecutorial power and misconduct and elected to office progressive prosecutors, including Alvin Bragg himself, in order to reduce the prosecutions of nonviolent crimes. Today, Democrats are pioneering all new ways to weaponize the government. To a large extent, this is due to...
Yeah. Again, that's Michael Schellenberger, folks. You can check out his post, and of course, if you want to see the whole thing, you got to go pay for it. But that's a little taste there. And yeah, there has been a massive change in the official narrative of the Democratic Party. Are there liberals out there who are still kind of old school liberals? Sure.
I'm sure there is.
And often I find common cause with those types. But the official party line, we're in a different
bizarro world, man.
Different spot. It's essentially like a cultural revolution.
Right. But for someone like me, again, guy of a certain age, I don't see where what they're doing benefits us as a country. I don't see it bringing things together, see it changing our norms, and not for the better. I mean, there are ways to improve it, but we're not going that direction.
Yeah, we'll see.
Disappointing.
We'll see. 272-9228 if you want to hop in on the program. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you with, that roof of yours.
That's right.
So it could be an asphalt roof, could be a metal roof, and it could be you don't suspect a problem at all. But you should get it checked on a regular basis.
That's
Basic preventative maintenance. Eddie and I have been suggesting get it done at least annually.
I would.
And here's the beautiful thing. Those inspections are always free when you work with River Region Contracting. And if they do find an issue, the estimate is also free.
And always been very accurate every time I've used it.
And they show up on time.
Yep.
They don't leave a mess.
No mess.
They're conscientious about working on
They're
your
very
home.
professional.
And, I mean, how many times have you used them? 3, 4 times now?
No, more than that.
Multiple
Probably
properties?
Close to 10, yeah. And I think I've got another property coming up where we're going to have them come out again.
Double digits.
Yeah.
Well, they're that good there. There's a reason folks are calling them the premier roofing contractor in the area. So, and let's not forget, they're insurance specialists.
That's why I'm calling them.
So they can help you through that claims
we had
process.
some storm damage, yep.
Yeah, they're fantastic at that. They'll actually even make it like an easy and pleasurable experience.
You bet.
Not something you usually associate with insurance claims. So call up Todd Clark and his team at River Region Contracting today. That number 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them you heard about him here on the radio with Joey and Eddie. Go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Happy Trails. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing well. I was so glad to hear that response that Mr. Schellenberger did, because I want people to hear that. I don't think it got out that enough people know that Hillary Clinton was fined $8,000 and the DNC was fined $15,000 for their participation in that fake hoax. But I really don't think that anybody else, announced that, broadcast that.
Right.
I also want people to think about the help that Trump sent to Puerto Rico. There were power companies down there for years putting Puerto Rico back together after that awful hurricane they had. What has Mr. Biden done for Maui? My understanding, the people in Maui are still suffering.
Yeah, they are. They got $700 told to have a good day. That was it. That was it.
And as expensive as it is to be there, to live there, I can't imagine. And the last thing I want to say is we are not a democracy. We are a represented republic. So they are supposed to do what we tell them to do, what we pay them to do.
Amen. That's the theory, but I don't think our government's been operating that way for a long, long time, unfortunately.
It hasn't, and it's time for it to stop.
Amen. Well, Happy Trails, great call. Really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank y'all for talking about what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Now, in this theme, let's go to Trump.
All right.
Trump a bit triumphant. Triumphant Trump? Yeah. On with Fox and Friends Weekend Edition, which means no Brian Kilmeade.
He takes the weekends off on Joey.
Yeah. So let's listen into this. I haven't actually listened to much of this in full.
Well, look, I'm fighting for the Constitution. I'm fighting for the same thing that you three. I watch you all the time, and same thing that you do. You fight for freedom. You fight for your country. These people are sick. They're sick. They're deranged. I talk about the enemy on the outside and the enemy from within. So you have Russia, you have China. But if you have a smart president, you always handle him quite easily, actually. We have a lot of advantages. But the enemy from within, they are doing damage to this country. They want open borders. They want high interest rates. They now want to quadruple your taxes. Quadruple. All my life I watched politics, and it was always like politicians want to lower taxes, not quadruple them. There's a whole sickness going on right now. So we're doing really well. It was a tough venue. We tried to get out of the venue. We tried to get out of the judge, but we tried to get out of both. Wouldn't even think about it. So we had probably maybe the worst area in the whole country for me, in terms of vote. I'm sure if I sat down and explained it to that section of the world, we could probably make progress.
No, I think Washington, D.C. might be worse, Mr. President. But he's right. Not a lot of support where they put him, and they did, of course by design. Let's keep going here.
But one of the worst sections, and they always bring them in these sections, D.C., they're places where Republicans, not just me, Republicans get like virtually no votes.
Right.
But the good news is that I think we've set a record beyond all records for fundraising. That's like a poll. And another one just came out just before I got in that we're 6 points higher than we were before. So I don't know if that holds up. I mean, I'm just not sure. But people get it. It's a scam. And the Republican Party is really, they've stuck. They stick together in this. They see it's weaponization of the Justice Department, of the FBI. And, you know, that's all coming out of Washington. You may think it's brag. Take a look at who opened the case. I'm not allowed to talk about it because I have a gag order. I'm probably, I guess, the first presidential nominee and the leading crooked Joe by a lot that's not allowed to talk. Maybe they're doing me a big favor. Who knows? But I'm not allowed to talk. I'm gagged. Nobody's ever heard of it. It's all coming out. It's weaponization, and it's a very dangerous thing. We've never had that in this country. They do have it in other countries, in South American countries. You know a little bit about it, right?
Well, that actually leads me to my question. I think for a lot.
I got to pause it there, but somebody's actually texting me that we both know and love, saying, "Quit talking about my peeps. I love Brian Kilmeade." Like, well, that's unfortunate because he's my arch nemesis.
I enjoyed hearing Trump say, "I'm gagged."
Well, I love how he puts it in this honorific thing. You know, I'm the first candidate, leading candidate to be gagged.
I'm gagged.
Maybe they're doing me a favor. I don't know.
Now that the trial's over, is he still gagged? Can he not talk about it?
He's still gagged. Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he can
as much as he can
say
be,
whatever he wants. But it's unreal where we're at. But let's keep going with this.
A lot of Americans, what's happened to you feels foreign. Like this has never happened here before.
Yeah.
But for Hispanic Americans, people coming from Latin America, this feels very familiar.
Yeah.
And in those countries, people are imprisoned. You know, instead of going to the ballot box and fighting there, they're on house arrest. They're told they can't run for office. What is your message? And by the way, I think a lot of Hispanic Americans, I hear from them, they're scared about what they see. What's your message to them about what happened to you and about how scared they are that our country is turning into the countries that they left behind, the corrupt, dysfunctional countries they left behind?
And they are scared, and they're great people, and very entrepreneurial, great energy. And as you know, I'm doing very well with them. I mean, beyond anybody, I don't think anybody's ever had
Do you
polling.
think this is why a little bit?
I think a little bit. And they've always liked me, and I've always liked them. You know, I've done well from the beginning. In 2016, I won the entire border along Texas, and they're all like 85%. And it's been great from the beginning, and now I'm leading. I think I'm leading over this guy that can't put two sentences together, that's destroying our country. Look, he's the worst president in the history of this country. And he's a danger to the country. And, you know, they have misinformation. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. It's just words. He doesn't even know what it means. But it's like their slogan, I'm a threat to democracy. I'm the opposite. They're the threat to democracy.
Mr. President, I want to return to the verdict.
Yeah. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me, sticks on you. 272-9228. Well, I think he's right. I really think he's right. The appeal to democracy, to Happy Trail's point, yeah, it should be a representative republic, but we didn't keep it. And we've had some weird monstrosity that ain't a republic, and it really isn't a democracy, but it uses that word quite often to excuse its depraved behavior at home and abroad. So we'll see what Americans are deciding as we get towards November. But when you look at the cultural change, especially in media, that clip we played of Trump walking into UFC, like something is going on.
No doubt.
And it's plain as day. You just got to wonder, what's the next trick up the establishment sleeve?
I don't know, man. This last deal was pretty nuclear-esque, but I don't know. I see it as, I know they only say the poll 6 points higher for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I just see that much higher than that.
And again, $200 million plus since that conviction.
So that
on
was
Thursday evening.
Thursday to by Monday?
Yeah. That's...
Man, Joey. How do we get some of that action?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And a lot of big names throwing money at him now.
Yep, I saw that.
So we'll see where it goes, folks. Before we hit this break, this part of the program, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and her team are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy or refinance that home of yours, there are a lot of good reasons to refinance. It could be, common one is you're under a lot of debt, and especially credit card debt, and you want to unload that, consolidate that, and have a much,
Consolidate your bills,
interest rates on mortgages are higher than historically, but
not compared to credit cards.
7% is a lot less than 29%, on a credit card.
Right.
But it could be you're not really in that much financial trouble. It's more like, hey, I want to rearrange how my finances are done. I want to be a little more cash heavy so I can invest in my property or invest in my family, maybe help the kid moving off to a new town. There's all sorts of great reasons you can use that equity built up in your home. And of course, if you're a veteran, Alabama Home Mortgage knows the latest with VA home loan programs, whether you're refining or buying. And of course, they can walk you through that home buying process, veteran or not, from pre-approval all the way to closing day. They're a great local shop that, they actually get to know their people and their goals in buying or refining. And really, they're just great local folks you can trust. So check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. That number 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you ready? Fox Tuesday. Jamie Foxx is back to rock your summer with a sizzling new season of Vicious Air. Then, line up in front of them balls. Jay Farrow hosts a new family trivia game where a giant ball will make you do a cannonball. If you get the answer wrong, the quiz with balls.
When the cash piles high, if you can stay dry.
Tuesday on Fox 20.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Hi, everybody. As we start this first full week in the month of June, no big surprises here. Sun and cloud mix today. A warm day with a high around 88. The normal high is 90. Spotty, random, mostly afternoon and evening storms, not only today, but tomorrow and Wednesday as well. With a low tonight 69. The high tomorrow 90. We'll be in the lower 90s on Wednesday. I think rain chances are better on Thursday as a front approaches the area, with spotty storms on Friday as well. Otherwise, pretty typical. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Spring is time for clearing and cleaning. Time to clean out your shed too.
Let go of old, outdated equipment holding you back and visit Capital Tractor to see your property's full potential. Powering Alabama, Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon, or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live. 272-9228 if you want to join the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. But one advantage of watching online, whether on YouTube at Joey Clark Live or on the Twitter at the Joey Clark, is you can comment.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Get your opinion this way. Ralph Hughes says, my unpopular opinion, just stop paying U.S. representatives. Give them a stipend while Congress is in session and pay them per diem for lodging and meals. No padded retirement. No expense account for assistants. Hire congressional admin pool instead. Ralph, I don't know how unpopular it is because I
like that.
I want to hug you by the neck. Like, I think that's a great idea.
I do too. Who doesn't like this?
And then there's the opposite idea. My Uncle Dave's always been about this. It's like, it is verboten illegal to take any money. You cannot take donations.
Okay.
You're paid like $2 million.
Civil servant employee. Oh.
No, as a member of Congress, you're paid a lot.
Okay.
Out of that pay, that's what you got to use to run.
To do your stuff.
Yeah, and
Run your
you can't
office, the
take
whole nine
donations.
yards.
So we're going to give you a big chunk of change.
I
We'll
like
make it a
that
big
too.
prize. This day and age, after inflation, maybe it's $10 million, whatever. We'll pay you a heck of a lot of money.
We have to do less.
And you could probably also throw into that no stock trading. Like you see, you make it a real sweet deal, but you put a lot of restrictions.
You tell me why that's not a law already, Joey.
Well, because the people that would have to change the law are the ones doing the stock trading. Right. And I think it's Republicans and Democrats
it's
both.
both sides, yeah.
And they all say the same thing. I asked Tuberville about this months and months ago. He said it's a blind trust. Legally, it's a blind trust.
Well, there are, and I'm sure they're on Reels too, but I see them more on TikTok. There are people that do nothing but follow politicians' trading account.
Right.
And that's a hell of a blind trust, Nancy Pelosi. That's a hell of a blind trust. And actually, there's a couple. There's one that and I can't think the name, but he brought up a specific congressman the other day. And he said, this guy has never bought anything, but he just bought a couple $20,000 worth of a German military stock. He said, this caught my eye. I'm going to watch it. And I am curious to see. I mean, he's like, this guy never bought nothing. And this is his first one.
272-9228. Yeah, the Dr. Fauci hearing has been ongoing. And you know the name Clint Russell? He does a Liberty Lockdown Pod. He was going for VP there in the Libertarian Party, but the fix was in for, I guess, Chase Oliver, Mike Termott. Yeah, you take the two, the guys like Clint has an amazing media following, like social media following. But no, we don't need that guy.
It kind of makes you think that it's rigged, Joey.
Right. But Clint Russell says, I watched 3 hours of the Fauci hearings. Here are my main takeaways. I trust Clint's instincts here.
Okay.
Fauci and the Dems are relying entirely on the fact that the lab leak has not been proven, quote unquote, and therefore the NIH grant that Fauci signed off for EcoHealth Alliance in Wuhan should be ignored.
I disagree.
The Republicans have no intention of actually prosecuting him. Best I can tell, Fauci works for the deep state, and they've been granted the right to chastise him publicly, but it'll likely go no further. I hope I'm wrong. Again, this is Clint Russell after watching 3 hours of the Fauci hearing. Fauci is gladly throwing his coworkers under the bus. I've seen a few people saying that, including Senator Rand Paul. Throwing his colleagues under the bus and downplaying their quote-unquote inappropriate behavior to keep himself in the clear. That behavior includes an email stating that any damaging info would be delivered to Fauci to avoid FOIA requests.
Right.
The most damning evidence of his malfeasance and criminality were likely never sent electronically and will never be known. No one seems to have a problem with that and what that means and how insane it is. But this is, again, Congress.
Uniparty.
Clint Russell continues, virtually all of the guidelines Fauci gave early on were ineffective. And he acknowledged that it was very damaging to children. That alone should be enough to get him prosecuted. He is sticking to the lie that the vaccine saved millions of lives and was safe and effective. How? Who the F knows?
Right.
In short, I had the worst 3 hours of my life, writes Glenn Russell.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. It disappoints me once again. But one thing about our government, it takes a lot for them to throw one of their own under the bus.
Yeah.
Because they know one day they're going to be in that spot. And they're going to be reminding people, remember how I had your back?
Oh, sure.
And it makes it easier to recruit people. Hey, we'll never throw you under the bus.
We've said this before, but the name of the game in Washington, especially if you're like a career civil servant, obnoxious name.
Yeah.
Is it's not, especially if you want to go high end, it might be you work middle management and you're good at what you do and you don't rock the boat. That's one group of people. And honestly, everybody's got to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
I don't blame them too much. It's the folks that are really deciding policy at the top ends where it's not so much if you make a good impact. You just need to make an impact.
Yeah.
And you'll be rewarded.
We've said it before. They promote, the more you screw up, the more you're going to get promoted.
And the more the government screws up in general, the more money and liberties they take from the people.
Exactly. As if it's our fault.
Right.
And it actually, it is. We get
If
what we
you
vote
just
for.
let us control you more, you would be safe, you dope.
At what point do they not control us? At what point?
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
John.
Hey,
Hey,
John.
John.
How you doing?
Got a question.
Mhm.
Why when legislation's in session that all, Tuberville and all them are not have to abide by the laws of driving?
What do you mean?
Well, they can't get a ticket if they're
Right.
driving a car without a driver's license because they're in session.
Because they're in session. There's all kinds of crazy Alabama laws like that. I remember that from a couple years ago.
I mean, they can be driving drunk and they can't get nothing happen.
Could be speeding.
This sounds too good to be true.
No, I'm
I
telling
need to
you,
run for
I
office.
remember hearing this a couple years ago, and I thought it was as ludicrous then as
No,
reminded of now.
And this is for state officials.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I've heard of course, you can't be prosecuted for things done and said on, say, the floor of the Senate or the House at the federal level.
I'm racing to get to the vote.
But here in Alabama, you have certain immunities if you're a legislator in session. Wow.
Right. So next time Tuberville's on, you need to ask them about it.
Well, federal rules would apply to Tuberville.
Well, okay. Well, whenever you get some state people on.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Definitely. Because I had forgotten all about that. Seems a little outdated. to
Well,
say the
some
least.
of us get to do the job well, got to get a little drunk, get behind the wheel.
Right.
It's called
Okay,
public
fine.
service.
But,
I appreciate
but we
it.
have drivers.
Right.
We have drivers.
Right.
We
Most
have
of them.
the Uber.
Well, actually, most of them drive themselves.
Well, not only that, but we have the Uber.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you're in it real drunk, just stay in the same spot.
Take the Uber.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
don't take your own car.
Oh, no. Heck no. I don't know if you've ever seen, I doubt you have because you're too young, but in England, there's a service that will come pick you up. This guy rides his mini bike to wherever you're at. You and your partner are drunk. He can fold the mini bike up and put it in your car, and he drives you home. And then when you get home, he takes his mini bike out, you pay him, and he goes back about his way.
That's not bad.
It was. I've seen enough videos on it. I thought that was great, but here in the States, that would not work.
Now, is there any job out there that, like, if you weren't doing real estate, if you weren't wasting 3 hours with me every day, like, is there a job you always wanted to do?
Oh, there's a bunch as I get older.
Yeah?
I'd like to go back, hang out in the Coast Guard for a little while on a boat for a little while. I'd like to do some merchant marine action on a boat for a little while. I'd love to have my whole snorkel scuba.
You want to be a
shack on the beach.
snorkel instructor?
On the beach, so it's got to be on the beach.
Only female clientele around?
Oh, no.
Oh, everybody's allowed to
Everybody's
snorkel
allowed,
with
yeah.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't discriminate. There's a million jobs like that. And the more older I get, I'm realizing, damn, I'm too old to go do that now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just the body's given away?
No, I mean like Coast Guard. I'd love to go to the Coast Guard.
yeah.
I'm too old. You know, there's all kinds of career fields as I'm older I'd like to go into, but I'm too old. By
Why
time I
the
do-
fascination with the Coast Guard?
I like ships, ocean.
You like
the whole
boats?
Yeah.
Like ships?
Yeah, like ships, like the ocean.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You do have good balance.
Been on a boat most of my life. And I got big feet. It helps out with the balance.
Some days I do wonder what it would be like to do a very simple job.
Oh, I've had the most boring job I've ever had. I had it when went through a rough time. I was in Alaska. You had to it was for a company, Alaska Canning Company. You took 99 empty cans, you counted them out, and you put them in a box. And then you took 99 lids and you taped them together and you put them in that same box. And you did it all day long.
Wow, that's monotonous, tedious.
All day long. But it was at a time in my life I needed that. And it worked out pretty good. And then also on the weekends when we needed beer money, you could go make $60 real quick. You go in there and pull 4 hours.
There are definitely days where I think it'd be nice not to think today.
There are. But Joey, I've been in those jobs and your mind catches up with you.
Well, and I've done, before I did radio, I was making the donuts for a while.
Yeah, there you go.
Worked the graveyard shift and make the donuts.
Right.
I was working at Fun Zone while in high school. That ended up being a joke of a job in the sense when you became DJ game tech, you didn't have to do much of anything.
Dude,
you played music, got free food, and occasionally they'd pay you to go fix a ticket dispenser.
That's most jobs when you get into maintenance or management.
You don't have to do much of anything?
You become you let other people do it.
Now, I was not a good delivery driver.
Oh?
I got fired from a delivery driver job. Because I was sick. I got sick too often in a certain period, and the guy's like, well, I'm just letting you go. And I never really fit in with, it was like a tight-knit group of people who had been driving for a while, and I didn't fit in with them. And they were very much encouraging you to break the traffic laws, to get times down, and I was just like, I don't even.
We owned a pizza restaurant for a while, Joey. And that was a business that I thought would be simple. How hard can it be?
Yeah, pizza, making the pizza.
I've never been more stressed out for I don't know how many years we did it, but it should be, and it was very pleasurable.
Well, yeah, that when I got fired from the pizza, I was working at Pizza Hut as a delivery driver, and the manager she was a nightmare. Like, she had no people skills.
Was it just you or everybody?
No, everybody. And so both me and my buddy Andrew were working there at the time. And we both, months in advance, say, we want LSU Auburn off.
Okay. Which seems like a reasonable request.
She scheduled us both. And this is after we did long shifts. We were called into shifts and people didn't, trying to put in.
Good employee.
So she scheduled us both. And so we kind of went, all right. Didn't say anything. The day of, we decided to have a good college football Saturday. And we just called her. We're like, hey, we're not coming in. You don't pay us enough to act like this, bitch.
Well, I've got enough stories like that. One time me and my 3 buddies decided we were going to Jamaica. Our first ever Jamaica trip. We took our tax refunds. We bought the all-inclusive package. We all worked in the mall. Well, we all worked at the same store. And they're like, you can't go. Y'all cannot go. So we're like, okay. We just quit. We never, the day we were supposed to go to Jamaica, we went to Jamaica. We just didn't show back up. And it was a BS job, to be very honest. But when we got back, I knew a lot of the people. They're like, they couldn't believe y'all just didn't show up for work. That's like, and it was at a record store. It's like
a record store.
Yeah, is it in the mall? I'm like, are you kidding me? Granted, this is one of the funnest jobs I've ever had.
Sure, record store's great,
but I'm not going to go to Jamaica after I bought a ticket because some nerd at the record store, some little manager said, "Oh, you can't go."
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there, Bucky. Good luck with that.
Like if it was your own record store, you're like, you'd even give yourself time off.
Right. I couldn't believe when we got back, they were shocked. Oh, you guys, y'all just showed them.
No, there's one. I worked at Hollister for a time, and they had that scheme where they would give you enough hours just to pay for the clothes you were required to wear.
Justin worked there, yeah.
And one day I decided I hate this, so I went to Best Buy and I was sitting there at the computer applying for Best Buy, and the manager of Hollister walks in. She's like, "What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be working today?" "I don't think so." So I'm sitting there. "Well, you're going to get a demerit." And then I asked the other manager, "Did I get a demerit?" He's like, "They forgot to file it. Who cares?" Like, this stupid job.
A demerit?
Yeah. Just the things they try to corral people with.
Well, Hyundai, years ago when they first came to town, it took them a couple of years to realize if Alabama was going to the national championship, people were not coming to work.
Yeah.
It literally took them, I think, 3 years or more before they go, okay, look. Because they would come out and say, y'all better come to work. Y'all better go. Oh, yeah. like 30% of the people would show up. Okay, last year was a
you can't
fluke,
really
but-
run the plant with 30%
No, you
capacity.
can't. Oh, they tried. Believe you me. But I think it literally took 3 or 4 years before they finally said, "Okay, you know what?" And I think it was
This is
the year
like a
Alban
big
was
custom
in.
here,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
like, "We're just going to let it go this time."
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, and Hyundai's a more serious job than what we were describing.
You're
but
talking
it's
about
like,
4,000 people that said no.
No. Yes. You don't even need a union for that. It's like, it's
No,
football
right.
season.
I've got days, and that's the thing. They say, well, it messes with your attendance. Well, usually national champions first of the year. So
Yeah.
everybody's still got all their vacation days. and all
Right.
their
They all
things.
take it at the same time.
See ya.
Yeah, there are times where something seems to be lost, especially in the big corporate world, where like there is, I think, some basic human responsibilities you have to the people you hire.
Certainly.
It doesn't mean you have to hold their hand, and it doesn't mean you don't have standards. But there's a coldness, a callousness sometimes that shows up, especially like these middle managers. They're like, oh, the people
Those
up
are the worst,
top
dude.
are
Those are the
the
worst. They are caught in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've got to please, they try to please both sides, and all they do is piss off both sides.
Why did you say please like that?
Oh, I meant please. I say please.
They got to please. Well, it is June. 272-9228
I am
if you
proud.
want to get on the program. I know you are. You shouldn't be. It's a sin.
Oh, that's right. I heard that, Joey.
Mm-hmm. You've been reading Jordan Peterson again, I see.
I got the lecture and hit home with me.
Yeah. Did you see the Pride Parade run in with the Palestinian protest in Philadelphia?
Okay, I was trying to watch that, and it stopped. So I thought the fix was in. I thought they took the video down. I didn't get to see it. I got to see as they came together, but then the video stopped. Please tell me what happened.
Well, and it didn't end up like violent or anything, but the Palestinian folks were not budging. They're like, walk around us, go a different way. We ain't moving from this intersection.
Well, it didn't end up like that protest at Alabama where they started going FJB.
I don't know. But what did Biden ever do to the gay community?
What did he ever do for them?
That's true. No, he was the one who first came out before Barack Obama. Isn't that amazing? Both Barack Obama and Joe Biden in 2008 said, no, marriage between a man and a woman.
Oh.
And then it's Joe Biden who came out, I think, not consulting with Obama and team, saying, yeah, I'm for, the country really changed when people started watching Will and Grace.
Yep. This is the same guy.
You really Deborah Messing?
When he was much younger, did not want black children going to school with white children. It's going to be a jungle, as he called it.
Yeah, right.
Let's not forget that.
272-9228. Let's hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Honey, wake up.
What?
I think something's burning.
I don't smell anything.
I'm gonna go check.
Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Is your home safe? You can't be sure unless you call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of Current Safe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Crosby Electric will send a specially trained electrician to your home using high-tech equipment. They'll check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to make sure your home is safe.
Well, it appears that we found the culprit. Faulty wiring.
I should have had it checked.
Just be thankful everyone's okay.
For an in-home no-obligation assessment, visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe, know it's safe.
Stay.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the River region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And ain't no troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. Let's go right to the phones, talk to a great sponsor of ours, Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, Joey. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I feel good today for the first time in a few weeks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Not working out?
No, seriously.
What's your secret?
What is the sauna workout?
Maybe the sauna workouts, yeah, or just time.
Yeah.
Geritol?
Ozempic, actually. I've been losing it.
Ozempic.
Been just losing all that fat. So how's it going at Cohen's today?
It's going good. Today's been a good day.
Excellent.
Sent Michael Jacks off early to the lake to do a big install, and hopefully he can get through today. My fear is he's going to go back and finish tomorrow. Everything's running good on the delivery crew. It's been a good Monday. A little dreary outside, but inside it's all been good.
Well, and it's always great to reiterate that y'all have, great products there, but it's not like these companies, as you said, make them different for any like they do for anybody else.
That's
but
right.
The difference there at Cohen's is y'all's service. So it's service after the sale, or it is, say you're buying a big honking TV, folks, or putting in a new fridge or washer dryer unit. Cohen's will come to you, help set it up, even take away that old fridge or washer dryer.
That's right. There's a lot of times customers want us to either move their old fridge because it's still working to the garage, or sometimes they just want us to haul it off. And whatever you need, we're here to try to help you and take care of what your needs are.
Well, and I was thinking, I really do want to get one of those captain's chairs. At some point here before too long, I'm going to pull that trigger. I like those things.
You should.
Like, sit back, watch a big old movie on that big TV from Cohen's in the captain's chair.
You might not get back up.
That's fine.
And I bet Eddie, since he does so much at the lake, could probably get you a captain's hat.
Oh, definitely.
To wear in your new captain's chair.
Yeah, and I'll have a little rubber ducky next to me.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
a little over the top.
You just think of everything.
So, folks, you can always go to thinkcohens.com, but I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael or one of the great team members and say, hey, I heard Michael cutting up with those morons on the radio.
Yeah, and just so they know, we don't do this to our other customers.
No,
your special needs, and we just give it to
you. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it, man.
Take care, Michael.
Thank y'all. Take care.
I like that guy.
Me too. In fact, he's got those massage chairs. I was talking to a friend of mine today as I was coming in. Apparently, they have massage chairs in malls now.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was talking to him, you could hear his voice kind of rattle a little bit. I go, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm in a massage chair. I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm fixing to put another $10 in here." We got to look into those things, man.
Yeah, on that note, we'll be right back. Don't be making any noises.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. French school children have greeted dozens of U.S. World War II veterans with a big poster saying, "Thank you," as they arrived in Normandy. The veterans are commemorating the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings. Kilauea, one of the most active volcanoes in the world, is erupting again in an area that last erupted a half-century ago. The U.S. Geological Survey's Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says the eruption began early Monday, about 1 mile south of the Kilauea caldera inside Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. And in Delaware, a federal gun case against President Biden's son Hunter is open with jury selection, the president's son pleading not guilty to charges. The Dow is down 266 points, the NASDAQ up 6. This is SRN News.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity and peace of mind.
Weather is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm. Your health and well-being can quickly be impacted by changing weather. The Johnny Adams Law Firm wants you to remain safe and be weather alert with the Rich Thomas Weather Network.
Hi, everybody. As we start this first full week in the month of June, no big surprises here. Sun and cloud mix today. A warm day with a high around 88. The normal high is 90. Spotty, random, mostly afternoon and evening storms, not only today, but tomorrow and Wednesday as well. With a low tonight 69. The high tomorrow 90. We'll be in the lower 90s on Wednesday. I think rain chances are better on Thursday as a front approaches the area, with spotty storms on Friday as well. Otherwise, pretty typical. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
1819 News.
A ceremony was held at Maxwell Air Force Base to welcome the new Gray Wolf helicopter. The new Gray Wolf MH-139 will replace the UH-1N Huey cargo aircraft that has been stationed at the base. The Gray Wolf will be used to transport U.S. government officials. It will also be used for nuclear security and provide security for survival, resistance, and escape training. Maxwell Air Force Base was selected for the Gray Wolf helicopter training mission back in 2020. Colonel Ryan Richardson is the commanding officer of the 42nd Air Base Wing at Maxwell. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you, to have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
U.S. Congressman Barry Moore says that flying an Appeal to Heaven flag is his First Amendment right, as well as his prayer for wisdom in trying times. Moore says it's not an effort to start an insurrection as suggested by AL.com writers. Moore explained all of this to 1819 News Editor-in-Chief Jeff Poore on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile.
So when I put out the Appeal to Heaven flag months ago, had nothing to do with the insurrection. It had the fact to do that Washington raised that thing when we needed it in a Revolutionary War. If we don't return to the creator of the universe and the Lord God Almighty, this country's in big, big trouble. The reason we've been blessed is because we're a nation, I think, of prayer, a nation of people who seek him. And certainly our founding fathers throughout history did that. And I don't think that now is the time to turn away from what made this nation great.
I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our number one goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey Clark. He's Eddie Bader.
Hey, Joey.
And, Jay Scott was on in the mornings and stuff. Also,
I like Jay.
I like his video game show, In-Game Chat. It's a good show. He sent me, don't often send me stuff, but he sent me this clip. And it's a Republican member of Congress giving a very serious speech to nobody. You know what I mean? Like how there's nobody there, but we have to get on the record. I said this.
I said it. That's right.
I mean, so he's giving a very serious speech about the conviction of Donald Trump.
Okay.
And this is one worth going to the, because there's no audio other than the guy speaking, but the visual here is worth going to the live stream. So Joey Clark Live on YouTube or at the Joey Clark on Twitter X, or of course you can look up Joey Clark on Facebook.
Right.
Facebook sucks. So let's just go ahead and play the clip here and we'll describe to folks what exactly we're seeing.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to address the terrible precedent set in our country 4 days ago.
So, and the first shot here, you can see there's a fat little redheaded kid.
Bring your grandkid to work day.
Like, just on the side of the frame there. He's not quite in frame, but watch this.
Using the justice system to engage
He notices the camera.
driven prosecution and now conviction of a major political party nominee
Giving a weird smile.
running for president, especially on the charges brought against Donald Trump, should gravely concern every member of this body as well as every American across our country, whether they be Republican or Democrat, for Donald Trump or against him. regardless of one's opinion of the current Republican nominee, we'd be well served to remember the long and cherished tradition we have in this country of settling our political differences at the ballot box. For nearly 2.5 centuries, our nation's elected
Folks, now the kid's acting like he's having a seizure or something, making all these stupid, funny faces.
have properly resisted the temptation to oppose their political rivals through the weaponization of our justice system. Equal justice for all. And an overall
Stacking,
trust
baby.
in our justice system is fundamental to who we are.
Making signs now.
Throwing
Those
gang
who
signs.
would destroy that hard-earned trust just to score cheap political points should be held accountable.
Wow.
Okay, was that ever you in church, Joey?
I think, no, I was just told this by my Uncle Bill. Because they were trying to get, when I was young, I was about, I think, less than a year old.
Okay.
So I'm just learning to talk, though, and like associate, especially uncles that weren't always around.
Right.
My parents, my mom would show them a picture or show me a picture and be like, that's Uncle Bill.
Okay.
And Uncle Bill is, of course, the one who's a priest. And it's like, that's Uncle Bill. And for the longest time, I wouldn't make the connection. Like, he'd come over,
Right.
I'd be like,
Who's this guy?
That's Uncle Bill. I don't know who he. The picture, that's Uncle Bill, but you, I don't know. Until one day, we're in Mass.
Oh.
We're in Catholic Mass. My Uncle Bill is saying the Mass as the priest, presiding over the whole thing. And all of a sudden, I apparently stand up like on the pew and point and go, Uncle Bill!
Nice.
Uncle Bill! That's Uncle Bill right there.
Nice.
Like in the middle of trying to say prayers, like we're gathering. Yeah, I had moments, but usually I was a pretty good kid.
Yeah. No, that was me in church. I was horrible. Because I had a little bit of a spastic problem. If you heard a sudden clunk, that was usually my head because I fell asleep and it fell back onto the pew. Or if you heard a sudden smack or a sudden scream, that was my mom trying to calm me down one way or the other.
Look at that face on the.
Oh, yeah. So been there.
Oh, it's got to make you smile, folks. It's definitely got to make you smile. 272-9228. Let's go.
Had to be his grandkid, though, by the way.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, he's sitting so close to him.
Yeah.
Come here, Sonny. Let me show you how to
Yeah,
do
just
it.
sit here, be quiet. And he stayed quiet.
Yeah, he did.
Just
stacking.
Let's go to Duke. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
Man, I don't blame that little boy. After hearing that pile of it.
Oh, dude. Are you saying that the leadership is full of crap no matter who's delivering the message?
That's what I heard from that man's mouth through that little boy's ears. I don't blame that little boy.
Yeah.
I make all kind of faces, too. Shoot.
I don't think that's why the kid was doing it.
Now, Joey, is it safe to call the show now since that meltdown Friday, the Trump cult member gathering here, whatever the hell you want to call it, meltdown. Is it safe to call in? I mean,
No, you're doing a dangerous thing right now. I found one, guys.
I still ain't seen nothing like it yet. But this Trump man, something else, boy, I tell you.
He's raised $200 million since I did that Thursday night.
This boy Trump, boy, he's y'all second coming.
No, I think he's people's middle finger. Like they hate the establishment.
He's your second coming.
You can try to characterize it that way, but you're just wrong.
We openly admit that it's faults. We point out his faults all the time.
You got to get out of Alabama. It ain't just your traditional conservatives
for
like
real,
this.
though, I never seen nobody flock to a cat like this right here. In any situation.
How about the response at UFC? That doesn't strike me as like a conservative political rally. It just struck me as like people that like violent sports.
You haven't seen anybody be attracted to someone people attract like that. What about Obama?
I was talking about Obama ain't no nothing to compare to Trump. Mr. Trump right here. This Trump bad
How is he
boy.
not comparable? Wait a minute. How's he not comparable?
In terms of the cult of personality.
No. Ain't even close. I ain't seen nothing like it, period, nowhere. I haven't.
You've never seen anything like this. So I guess you weren't alive for
Not even
FDR.
with King. I'm going to go for his King and nobody in the past. I never seen nobody get this kind of glorification from you guys like Trump gets from you guys. I don't understand it. In a situation, I mean, you got 12 jurors, people come out and say, you know, I always heard that, you know, y'all didn't hear what the jury said, but with this cat right here, it doesn't matter.
Well, it's also, we laid out a pretty
bad
detailed
boy.
case about how unprecedented and creative this legal
Hell,
stuff
I'm jealous of Trump. Hey, I'm jealous of him. I am. No, I'm jealous. Hell, I want that kind of power right there over y'all. I do.
No, you don't.
And honestly, Duke, you couldn't pull it off. Excuse me. Excuse me, you couldn't pull it off how I pull it off.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Stark? I know you're listening to me. You're listening.
Right, yeah. No, he's already out the building. He only had one thing to say to you.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. I can't get mad about this here thing. I ain't getting mad anyway, because I ain't studying none of it, period. Because I know all of them liars. You know, they're going to sweet talk us, do what we do, go to the box and put it a level for them.
But you don't see Trump as unique in American politics compared to Democrats and Republicans of recent memory.
Take the politics out of it. Take the politics out about Trump now. Whether he, you know, pass a bill or do politics, period. Just the way that he got control over people. Little Tim Scott had he just him and what's that boy? Lindsey Graham.
Forget
those two right there, boy.
How we forgetting the politics?
Lindsey Graham.
Forget the politics. You're naming politicians.
I know, but the way the people act.
Why don't we go back to before Trump was a politician? Oh, wait a minute. Everybody loved him then.
Well, and
Oprah.
also, like, dude,
Begged him to run for president.
that sort of thing's happened long before Trump. Whoever's got the biggest one in the room, people are going to show up to try to, you know, massage it.
Ah.
But this Trump cat, he just got power over like I'm gonna use his term like never before. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous of it. Hell, I want me some power like that. You know.
I don't think you do.
Be careful what you wish for.
You know, I'm talking about in good ways. You know.
I don't know.
Boy.
Well,
that's all right though. That's all right.
One of these days you'll understand why there's so many folks who kind of agree with you. They're all full of crap. Still love them some Trump.
Yeah.
But I want the same energy toward this crime we got in this country. Can we do that, people? Can we put that energy that you guys?
Now you're just being racist.
No, I ain't being. I'm
dogging out all these Democrat Democrat mayors. Just because you listen to right-wing radio, Duke, you're rotting your brain out.
I'm talking about nationwide now.
Yeah.
We need to focus this energy y'all got for getting mad about this Trump thing. Get mad about this crime in the country. Let's pull it together.
Maybe we'll get Trump in there, and then we'll get mad about the crime. We're already mad about the crime. We can't do nothing about it.
No kind of way. Huh?
We're already mad about the crime. The only thing we can do about it is replace the leader we got, because the leader we have in there, all these judges, these are his people.
No, we need to
folks,
uproar. We need to uproar when people go in the street and raise hell a little bit about this crime and say we had enough of it.
That's just how you get shot.
No, that's what we're doing with this Trump situation right here.
Nobody went to the streets.
We raising hell.
No, I think we raised some money.
I think, Eddie, we're just like, we got to stop feeding the trolls. I appreciate the call, Duke. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Joey, because a good friend of mine sent me a thing, and I put it on Facebook about not arguing with the donkey.
Well, for some reason, the line from Funkadelic, One Nation Under a Groove, talking a mile a minute.
Yeah.
That's how those calls feel, Duke.
Oh.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. That's 272-9228. Hey, you want to go to HOA Karen?
Oh,
I bet to watch us in full.
To hear.
Hopefully there aren't any curse words or anything in this. But you know those Karens.
Dude, you get them excited.
Right. But at HOA Karen posted this video on Nextdoor.
Okay.
Which for some reason I signed up for that, but I put one of my lesser email accounts on it, so I never really check it. And I'll occasionally see all the stuff people are posting. And I'm like,
does it make you feel like you live in a bad neighborhood, even though I know you don't live in a bad neighborhood? I mean,
County Downs is doing all right.
I mean, they always posting.
Yeah, but it's not usually a bad thing. It's more.
Who stole my
County
package?
Downs? Maybe it's because I grew up there initially from 6th grade.
Yeah.
But it's grown. the trees and the gardens and the
grown up,
yards. It is a beautiful neighborhood.
County Downs is beautiful.
I've been kind of blown away when it came alive this spring into summer. Anyway, and I don't know that I've never heard my grandfather or my parents complain about the HOA over there. I know there is.
I don't think it's so bad.
Right.
It's pretty early on, so yeah.
Right. I mean, they still meet and they do things. Like there's some trees actually even my mother and grandmother's name that are on the side of the entrance.
About the HOA. Yeah.
Right. And if you're in a covenant group society, you probably want some basic standards upheld. And
certainly.
That makes sense.
And a lot of people wanted an HOA in the beginning because they knew, okay, everybody in this neighborhood's grass will be cut.
Right.
There'll be no junk cars laying out in front. Everybody has a certain standard.
Right.
But then we put some gasoline on that with the Karens.
So this was posted by an HOA Karen. Let's listen in together.
Knock, knock. Hi there, folks.
Oh my God, she
already, man.
She is like out of central casting. Keep going.
Yeah. My name's Jessica. I'm from the HOA.
And for those who aren't watching on the stream, she's just opened one of those. She showed up to a pool, opened the gate. That's when she goes, knock, knock.
She's in the backyard.
Knock, knock. And this is a nice pool area, like tile, like outside the pool, like a nice, I think that's a stone pool.
You know how you keep her from doing that again? Swim naked.
And they got like a little tiki bar
it's
hangout
really
area.
nice place.
Anyway.
See why they got HOA?
Here, let's back it all the way up here. So.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
Hi there, folks. Yeah.
Thank you.
My name's Jessica. I'm from the HOA.
What are you doing in my yard?
Wait, we don't have an HOA. I'm bringing a couple of citations over to you guys. I don't know if you didn't get the memo. You can't have 3 cars in your driveway. Ma'am, do you live here? Do you live in that RV out there? You look like the type that would live in an RV.
Put your little camera on me. First of all, you need to back yourself out of my yard, or this dog will attack you.
As the dog looks away.
Yeah, the dog's like, I'm not getting involved with Karen.
Yeah, dog's like, I ain't biting a Karen. That's how you get rapey.
Right.
I love how this dog will attack you. The dog just looks away,
Right.
literally.
Don't bring me in this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't have a permit for that dog either. So.
Oh, you're like, get him. Wow. If somebody came up on you when you're relaxing in your own damn pool, you have too many cars in the driveway, and you don't have a permit for your dog.
It wouldn't go. It really
No, I know when this guy, he's got a short fuse sometimes, and it depends on the day, but.
Well, honestly, I had people from Alabama Department of Revenue show up at my house one time. They said, hey, looks like you've added on to your house. Apparently one of my neighbors turned me in. So they said, how much did you add on? And I was night shift. I was literally standing in my underwear. I was like,
Oh, wow. Yeah. You were not in any mood to talk to anybody.
I don't know. I just, until I ran out of money. And he goes, and I said, I don't have a measuring tape or nothing. He goes, oh, I got one in my car. But yeah, I learned one of my neighbors.
By the way, when I call you, say at like 9 at night, we're both watching stupid videos, you have clothes on, right?
Shorts.
Just shorts.
Yeah. Dude, I'm old.
What does that mean? You can't wear a shirt in your own home?
Who's going to be there? Me and my wife? My wife, like, no,
I like
seeing me topless, but
right.
she's accepted the fact that I go topless.
I asked her the other day. She said, "Oh, well, it's kind of."
She's accepted the fact that I'll occasionally go topless.
The weather report is fair to middling, Joey. No, I don't like wearing pants at home. Like comfy shorts or just my compression shorts and a shirt is what I usually wear.
There was a show, and I don't remember the name of it, that used to come on, and it was about an 80s show, and the guy would come home from work, and the first thing he did was step out of his slacks and just be in his underwear, and I could so relate with that. The first thing he do when he get home, he takes his slacks off, stands there in his underwear, and, you know, that's how a man should be. It's his castle.
Knock, knock. Hi there, folks.
Man, what a miserable woman.
Yeah.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, guys, it's David.
Hey, David.
Yeah, thanks. He might have been Jewish from New Jersey.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
I think this is Florida. From who knows, but
Maybe it was Fran Dresch's sister. Hey, man, I had a friend of mine a couple of years ago. He purchased, already had about like 20 acres of land out in the country, purchased like another 20 acres, additional 20 acres from a neighbor of his. And it was wooded area. It had just a natural kind of dry stream bed ran through it, which, of course, when it rained, water would run through it. And it was eroding. And so, I mean, he dropped like $250,000 in improvement on this area so that it would drain properly without eroding. And he gets a letter from ADEM.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a neighbor of his who was mad that he purchased the property and so called ADEM on him. They did a flyover with a plane taking photos of his property, sent him a letter, and said he was under investigation.
Just on one tip.
Just on one tip from a disgruntled woman because she was mad because she used to go and walk through this wooded area occasionally, just like bird watching or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when he purchased it, he fenced it off so that she couldn't go unknowingly. He didn't know that she was walking back there. And so she calls ADEM on him, and he gets threatened with tens of thousands of dollars in fines by ADEM for putting $250,000 in improvements on his own property.
That's absolutely just Karens, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hi there, folks.
And somebody texted said she actually sounds Midwestern.
I don't know. She sounds very Jersey, knowing neighborly.
She's definitely New York or New Jersey. For sure. I mean, I'm from the Chicago area. I'm Midwestern.
Well, I just love hearing that guy go, "What are you doing in my yard?"
I appreciate his patience because I don't think I've been that patient.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, some neighbors can be just unbelievably idiotic.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't believe how many people I sell homes to, and the reason they're moving is because they're neighbor.
Yeah.
Yep. They finally had enough. Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I moved out of Montgomery was my neighbor next door, and he'd actually taken a young guy in he'd known since he was a kid who had just gotten out of prison. And within a month after he moved in, he ended up shooting somebody at his house. Now, a felon with a gun shoots somebody that he gets in an argument with, and in 72 hours, he's right back at the guy's house.
Goodness gracious!
I said, that's it. I said, we are out of Montgomery. I'm done with it. Lived there 33 years. Gone. That was 5.5 years ago. Never missed it.
Well, hate to hear that, but sometimes you gotta.
Yeah.
Well, no pun intended. Pull that trigger.
A reason I hear it quite often.
Yeah, absolutely. So, have a good one, guys.
See you, David.
Appreciate it, David. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
And that's Mike Kowalski. You got a hairball stuffing up the sewer system for the entire neighborhood.
Yep. Dude, I had to tell you that, lady. I feel attacked. Defending myself. We got that castle doctrine. Just be glad it's a taser and not my 40.
I can't believe the gall over those. I mean, and I know Karens are Karens, but just to come in the dude's backyard.
Wow. Yeah. My name's Jessica. I'm from the HOA.
Unless you're a cop, we got some problems.
Dude, if you got a cop, we got problems. Where's your warrant? What are you doing on my property?
Well, he's got a gun, so we get to have a
happened.
nicer conversation, but yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe. I'm not going to be confrontational, but it's bad enough when you're in your car. You have no Fourth Amendment. At my house, we're going to go a little bit. We're going to go a little bit in my favor on that one.
Yeah. Plus, he's having a pool party. She didn't bring no beer or nothing.
No beer.
Get the hell out of here,
dogs,
lady.
No liquor.
Right.
Probably thank God she didn't bring a bathing suit. That'll make you stare at the sun during an eclipse.
Man.
I can't believe the chutzpah some people have. It's just over the top, man.
Right.
Well, you know, this is what we've come to accept, because people get real comfortable talking all kinds of smack with a keyboard. You know, the generation that we grew up in, you know, talk smack, get smack. You know what I'm saying? We got another.
Yeah, there was a certain line that could be crossed,
Sure.
and you wouldn't necessarily even end up in court. Like,
no.
But these days, I'd imagine if you slug somebody, you probably will be charged with something.
If you hang around and take responsibility, but we don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Or you could be a man and be like, you know what, I deserve that.
You got all these cameras, man.
Well, you know, I don't know.
No,
I'm over these people.
Before I forget, Eric, for some reason you calling in, I meant to mention this earlier to Eddie, but I had a dream over the weekend. I had many dreams, but the one that really cracked me up, it was like I woke up, got out of bed, went into the bathroom, turned on the light. Like it was one of those dreams where it's your everyday routine.
Right.
But when I look in the mirror, I'm almost like I'm balding, like Friar Tuck balding.
Ooh, Joseph.
And I remember in the dream, I go, well, I guess I'll just have to grow out this beard more. I was kind of at peace with it. I'm like, what happened to my hair?
Friar Tuck style. Ooh, Joey, that's tough. That's tough, buddy. You got to make a call then, man.
You got to beat them off with a stick.
Or start a monastery.
Yeah.
Well, what are you letting all that bread ferment in your kitchen for? Winter's coming. Gotta make the beer. Sorry.
I would hope you would just shave bald at that point.
Yeah, that was in the dream I made. I'm like, well, this is okay. I'll just shave my head. I'll grow the beard out a little more.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Yeah, being like a Marvel bad guy.
Just don't hold on to it. I see so many people that hold on to that kind of thing, and just let it go, man.
You gotta learn how to use a stick too. If you're gonna go for it, you might as well go Little John all the way.
Friar Tuck.
All right, y'all. I don't have anything constructive to say, so
appreciate it.
All right, dog.
All right, y'all. Adios.
Later, bro.
272-9228. That's 272-9228. If you want to get in on the program. Now, I actually thought Elon shared the meme that describes our times incredibly well. It's liberals. Here, I'll just pull it up on the screen. And it's like two people staring at each other from opposite cars. Liberals wearing a Trump mugshot shirt. Conservatives also wearing a Trump mugshot shirt. Yeah. Like, you know, it's like, oh, wait, we think we got him. And we're like, no, we kind of like your disdain.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, again, I'm not somebody who voted for Trump in 2016. But since he was elected and watching the way that he was never given a damn fair chance.
From day one. Or even before that.
And they're using extraordinary means from the get-go. And we go, well, I don't agree with everything this guy says, but if they're going after him this hard, he must be up to something good.
I mean, isn't that just your natural instinct when everything that you semi-trust or don't trust is pushing against one person? You not go, you know what, maybe it's them, not him. And you look a little bit further into him and you go, you know what, he's not perfect, but I don't see the same flaws that they see. I see a bunch of scared people. That's what I see.
Exactly right. Yeah, scared that their little fiefdoms are going to be upset by this new
one person,
big Don in town.
One man.
Right. Well, we'll see where it goes. Right now, it is amazing. $200 million in fundraising, polls going up. A lot of folks saying, oh, all right, y'all want to play?
Yeah.
We'll play.
If it's battle over money, plenty of money now.
272-9228. And of course, Dr. Fauci's been testifying all day. I really don't have the stomach to do any of those clips. I don't think I do. I don't want to. I don't want to watch Jim Jordan and Marjorie Taylor Greene
go back and forth.
You're a liar, Marjorie.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. I'd like to see her wrestle.
Like actually wrestle?
Just come out, just had enough where she just comes out of the seat.
Oh, with that bad built butch body?
Right. Hopefully she's got on a dress that's going to show the...
Some fellas that like that.
Yeah, there are.
Mm-hmm. Like a fit woman.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with a fit woman.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you should get in the gym, Jasmine Crockett. Get in the weight room.
Maybe.
Maybe you don't have to.
Right.
It'll probably improve your self-esteem. 272-9228. And before we hit this break, I kind of want to go out with something serious.
All right.
And for great analysis and seriousness, we always turn to what Peter St. Onge.
Yes.
And this week, or this day, is about Wall Street quietly dodging a $75 billion in bailout costs, while exempting thousands of banks from rules meant to protect taxpayers.
See?
So let's get the full story here. Again, this is Peter St. Onge, Prof. St. Onge on the Twitter X.
In case you were curious who runs this country, banks run this country. After what the Wall Street Journal calls, quote, intense lobbying by major banks involving millions of dollars in targeted ads and filet mignon dinners, Congress and the Fed are poised to scale back how much money banks have to set aside as a buffer against taxpayer bailouts. The Wall Street Journal calls the move, quote, a major victory for bankers, noting it signals a, quote, shift in the balance of power between banks and regulators. It will no doubt be refreshing to the average American to discover that major banks actually have a lot more power than we thought. The key issue is how much banks have to set aside for so-called market risk, in other words, their assets going down. This is what wiped out a bevy of major banks last year, from Silicon Valley to Signature, when their government bonds lost a third or more of value to the point their assets were worth less than deposits. So deposits being what banks owe, say, to your grandmother. That means they were bankrupt, and thanks to a very understanding taxpayer, were wound up and sold off to megabanks with all the losses covered. What the bankers want, naturally, is to have zero buffer, so they can lend every last penny to hedge funds with nothing left in the vault. This is fantastically risky, of course, but then bankers know they can force taxpayers to step in when anything goes wrong. And wrong it shall go, given all the billions they got paid for screwing up in 2008 and once again in 2023. In fact, the more pathetic they look, the more pressure they can put on bailouts. After all, when their banker lends all their money to a hedge fund in the Caymans, widows and orphans make for much better human shields if they are actually eating cat food. So far in Washington, they're cutting the bailout buffer, the incremental reserves in a new capital rule, by half, so lopping off $75 billion for banks to hand to shareholders, or more likely lend to hedge funds, instead of covering inevitable losses from lending to those very hedge funds.
The money machine
Meanwhile,
going.
across town, Congress just advanced a bill to exempt banks up to $50 billion in assets, so that's close to 5,000 banks, from a slew of capital rules, again intended to protect taxpayers. Keep in mind, bank lobbyists are still hard at work, and of course, for decades now, bankers get everything they want out of Washington. They literally write most bank regulation, including the post-2008 rules that have apparently institutionalized bailouts. So toss in that shift in power, and the incredible shrinking bailout buffer could keep evaporating like vodka martinis at a Wall Street Christmas party. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. What last year's banking crisis taught us is that banking has not gotten any better since 2008. In fact, it's gotten worse. The gambling with the taxpayer dime, both directly and indirectly via the Fed's so-called lender of last resort function that hands bankers whatever they want if they just produce enough human shields. The difference is that in 2008, the bankers had to come begging. This time, the bailouts are being arranged ahead of time, one filet mignon dinner and one campaign contribution at a time. A new episode of the Roundup podcast just dropped, covering de-dollarization, house prices, the rise of shadow banks, the fall of fast food, and another $300 billion for the Ukraine meat grinder. Check it out at Apple, Spotify, or at Peter St. Onge. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.
Again, folks, that is Peter St. Onge. Always appreciate his insights. Got to hit a quick break here. More news and views in the afternoon. We come back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money?
Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit.
You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
The IRS is ramping up collection. And if you owe back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, listen carefully. Before it's too late, check your eligibility for the Fresh Start program still offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax problems. Call our special hotline number now and find out in minutes if you qualify for these life-changing debt reduction programs. Business or personal. If you're on a payment plan with no end in sight, have unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to know your options, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief and stop collections immediately. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau with a 5-star rating from Yelp. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. Call their hotline number now. 800-565-1688. That's 800-565-1688. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-565-1688 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Jessica Pig here with Pig Enterprises. Blue Water Broadcasting has been a major part of our continued growth, connecting us with the right customer base at the right time, helping us to get you behind the wheel of quality pre-owned vehicles for the past 20 years. If you're looking to maximize your advertising potential, Pig Enterprises believes you'll get a squeal of a deal from Blue Water Broadcasting.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. It's a pretty routine June forecast. Still a chance that we'll run into an evening shower or thunderstorm tonight before they fade out. Overnight low temperature down to about 69. The forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday very similar. A sun and cloud mix with spotty, random, mostly afternoon and evening storms. We'll be near 90 on Tuesday, lower 90s on Wednesday, and somewhat better rain chances by Thursday as a frontal system approaches. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Do you have big plans this summer? Dive into summer with an ASE Credit Union vacation loan. Whether you've got a trip coming up, projects at home, or just need a little extra cash, we've got you covered. So don't put your plans on hold. Visit yourasecu.com or stop by and see us today.
Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to hop in before we close up shop. Getting towards the end of the show. Again, that's 334-272-9228. And it's been a good Monday so far, I would say. We've learned a lot about the world and one another. And we never want an HOA.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Can't do it.
I've been in one. I rented a house one time when our house burned down. I rented one. I was greeted the day we moved in. I was greeted with a note from the HOA lady that said, your grass is too high. We were literally moving in.
No, that happened to me with a rental too. Like somebody had the city come and put a frickin' sign in the yard. I'm like, really?
I think all that takes is a phone call now too. Yeah.
Yeah. We also have learned that, well, Trump being convicted has only made him much more popular. Did you see Barry Moore standing by the idea of his appeal to heaven flag?
No.
You know, the left was making this, corporate media was making this big thing about Justice Alito's beach house had an appeal to heaven flag.
Kind of pushed it out on his wife, but yeah.
Yeah, and Barry Moore is all about it. And there are
What's the problem with
some saying that he was trying to, he was hearkening to the insurrection on January the 6th because somebody walked around there with that flag.
There were a lot of flags there that day, Joey.
Yeah. Everything, it's funny reading the symbols how you want them. It's like soothsaying. Except now it's, if you use a flag, notoriously from the Revolutionary period, can't be appealing to heaven. You might actually, fight for your freedom.
That's why I wish I had the secret ninja skills where I could just slap people. When you see people do something stupid, like you just slap them.
Well, and of course, Barry Moore was saying, I'm calling for an insurrection of people to get on their knees and pray to God.
Right.
Yeah. Now let's do a little Alabama here.
Will
Ainsworth praises the legislature and Keave. By the way, on that Dave Smith, Chris Cuomo debate, they did the big montage, everybody being shamed for not being vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot that the governor of Alabama has a starring role in that montage.
Yes, she does, Joey.
Well, why don't you talk to unvaccinated folks and unlike us regular people?
Right.
Isn't that right, Missy? Mm-hmm. But on Monday, Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth applauded the legislature and Governor Kay Ivey for signing a package of 10 pro-military bills into law during the 2024 regular session.
All right, let's hear them.
You don't seem all that excited. I'll read them, but you need to...
Because there are things they can do, and I guarantee you none of them are on this list.
Ainsworth said he wanted to ensure Alabama remains among the nation's friendliest and most welcoming states for active service members, veterans, and their dependents.
Then why don't we do something about affordable housing for veterans?
Improving the lives of the men and women who currently wear our nation's uniform, those who serve, and the family members who support them is always ranked high on my list of priorities as Lieutenant Governor, Ainsworth said. The bills we enacted will provide tax cuts for deployed troops, enhance the educational occupational options for dependents of active armed forces personnel, and implement guidelines that make Alabama even more welcoming for those who serve. The Alabama Military Stability Commission, chaired by Ainsworth and tasked with protecting and expanding federal military bases and other Department of Defense infrastructure across the state, proposed a legislative package. In addition to several elected officials and cabinet members, the commission included regional appointees from areas across the state with a heavy defense concentration. Among the bills enacted were measures that created tax exemptions for military pay earned by Alabama service members while deployed, provide occupational licensure reciprocity for military dependents, ease school registration and athletic participation rules for children of military families, and begin reforming and improving mental health services offered by the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. Ainsworth said that enacting the package will also ensure the state's current military presence remains secure.
A lot of fluff.
Do you think it's a lot of fluff?
A lot of fluff.
But they had a whole commission. They studied this and they...
A lot of fluff, Joey. Instead of all these commissions, why don't we get some crap done? Instead of meeting, let's get crap done. Actual, real things.
But there's 10 different ones that got passed. I'm looking at it.
Can you tell me the benefit of any one of them besides the... I know it is
provides uniformity and conformance to federal standards for the provision of benefits under the Alabama GI and Dependents Education Benefit Act. So clearing up red tape when it comes to the GI bill.
Can you get proof of that, or they're just announcing that?
No, it was signed into law.
So can you give me examples of what they're actually going to do, or is it much like these other things they sign into law that are just nothing but fluff?
requires the Department of Mental Health and Department of Veterans Affairs for developing a plan to address Alabama veterans' behavioral health needs and consider pilot programs to address gaps for specific veterans' behavioral services.
So they're telling the VA to do their job.
Yes.
Okay.
Enrolls Alabama into the Dietitian Interstate Compact to assist with military and military spouse occupational licensure.
I don't even.
I don't like your attitude. We need to trust the government and praise our state representatives when they do good things. Enrolls Alabama into the Social Work Interstate Compact to assist with military and military spouse. I already read that one. Exempts all overseas deployment pay from state income tax. That's a pretty straightforward.
I'll give them that.
And exempts National Guard and Reserve stateside mobilization pay for state income tax. Provides for the, allows for remote and early enrollment of military dependents into special education services when moving from out of the state. Modernizes the Alabama Code of Military Justice at the request of the Alabama National Guard. You just don't seem all that excited about all this.
I see fluff. More government agencies patting other government agencies on the back for doing what I do.
Now, I'm seeing also a story here from Erica Thomas. It's time for churches to take a stand. Faith leaders respond to aggressive Pride Month push.
Ooh.
Think they will?
No.
I'm just looking to see what they're going to do.
They didn't stand up against COVID. Why are they going to stand up against this?
I guess we're going to argue about it?
No, argue.
Oh, my uncle's Catholic, was the vicar of the cathedral down there in Mobile, like the right-hand man of the archbishop. And he was describing how and I've been there, where the cathedral is literally the town square where all events are held.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, if there's going to be a pride thing, it's probably going to be right in front of the church. Right? If there's going to be, I think there's an art festival that goes on around in June. So people are going to be like, wait, what is it, officially Pride, or is it just...
Got to be confusing.
Yeah. And it is an interesting time where it's like everybody's got to be in each other's faces. The live and let live thing of the late 90s and early aughts, it's died for a lot of people.
It did, because we did let the live and let live. And look, I've got dudes going in the girls' bathrooms now. So live to let live kind of died a long time ago. It's time to stand up for what we believe.
Right. It went from Biden talking about will and grace to affirming, you can have surgery done to your kid to make their gender right. 272-9228. How about this? Let's hit a break. Hopefully, is Ray Bowles back?
I think he's back.
We'll be right back. Hopefully with Ray Bowles of Prattville Carpet.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Looking for a delicious and creative way to cater your next party, event, or office lunch? Let Bates House Montgomery take the worry out of it for you. Sandwich trays, turkey casserole, hickory smoked or roasted turkey with your favorite classic sides. So many options, all homemade and delicious, just the way you expect. Visit Bates House of Turkey in Montgomery at the corner of Carter Hill and Vaughn Roads, or call 334-215-7775. Eat turkey. Feel perky.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Name That Tune returns. And Fox tonight, it's gonna be more music and more money.
An extra 100,000.
Ever wondered if you're the smartest person in the room? Patton Oswalt hosts the new Big Money Quiz Show. That's not about what you know, but about how you think.
Find out how your brain stacks up against America.
The premiere of The 1% Club. Tonight on Fox 20.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final minutes here of the program. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Chad from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Chad, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. How are y'all?
Oh, fantastic as well. Life's all right.
It's a beautiful, beautiful Monday. Look, I just talked to Ray, all right, and he said this week and this week only, if you come in and ask for me, I can give you a discount. So that doesn't apply to Bart or Terry or
right.
or David or anybody else. Only if you ask for me,
it's the Chad discount.
You'll get a discount on some flooring.
I love that.
It's a great deal.
So the password is Chad.
It's Chad. That's the password. That's right. Nobody else is brave enough to get on the phone to talk
right.
to you. So so 1 week and 1 week only, we're having the Chad special.
And so if folks want you to come out, measure an area they're looking to resurface, y'all still doing that, right?
Absolutely. Give us a call, 285-8117. My cell phone, while Ray's gone, you can use my cell phone, 201-4506. And call us anytime. We'll be happy to come out. In fact, just today, went out and measured a house at 12 o'clock, and they're currently on their way to put down their down payment to get their floors installed. So
all right.
Today, from their measurement today when they came in and looked at floors to the time that we install, will take about a week and a half or 2 weeks. And so it's really that simple to call, book an appointment. We'll come out, let you know everything you need to do, and get it together that fast for you.
And of course, Prattville Carpet has carpet, but traditional hardwood, laminate products, luxury vinyl plank, ceramic tile, even for say a kitchen backsplash or redoing a bathroom. They do it all there, folks.
Absolutely, yep. We can help you with just about any of your home needs.
So again, that number 285-8117, and when you call 285-8117 for 1 week only, ask for Chad.
Absolutely, that's the discount special.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Man, y'all have a good week. I appreciate
you too, brother.
I like those fellas down there.
I love those guys. Over the weekend, and I just got reminded of it. Did you see about Alex Jones?
Oh, where he was crying and claiming the feds are shutting him down?
Yeah, and he was going to spend the night in the studio because they're coming to shut down and sell all his equipment.
Yeah, but then they were broadcasting the next day.
I was going to say, did anything happen? Because I just saw another video from the next day.
Right. I don't know.
Okay.
Alex is prone to dramatic.
That's what I was wondering, if he was having a moment.
Right. I mean, you know that Joe Rogan clip.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm a little retarded.
I don't know if you've seen the cartoon version of it, the animated version. It is hysterical.
Oh, dude. No, I mean, he is probably one of the most compellingly entertaining people. Like, even when he's a train wreck.
Oh, yeah.
And he's saying things, you're like, what are you doing?
But that's
like, there's something about that guy that there's a reason he has such a huge following. There's something very compelling, and especially when he's on like comedy podcasts, he's not trying to he wins those too.
Right.
Like,
That's when he seems to be, I hate saying this, but like himself.
Yeah.
And he wins me over every time. Just like he's a crazy uncle. Okay. That's just him.
And there's a lot of stuff he did early on.
Right.
Where you're like, he did call that. Well, he called that too.
Gay frogs?
Well, I don't know about it.
It's coming.
Is that, well, it didn't turn them gay. It changed their sex.
I thought it turned them gay.
No, it changed their sex. The astrazine, I think, in the water. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it turned them gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
Jerry Seinfeld.
It's frogs.
Well, it's frogs.
Yeah, it's frogs.
So on that note, I guess we should get out of here.
All right.
Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budell. Well, he's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is